necessary here for game number 2. You kind of need to take out that Venusaur with multiple tag teams here, maybe the Walrein and the Nidoqueen, because that Venusaur just went off and did so much damage by itself, taking out the Scrafty, taking out the Cresselia.
好 ，YouTube 开始。
putting Lurking Rocket in such a
大家晚安。
Yeah, and
今天预
rock
计
slide bait too to get both the protect shields
开
down
到
on Lurking Rocket side.
10 点。
What will the adjustment be? That Shadow Venusaur just did too much. And I mentioned earlier how the Shadow Venusaur is the best Pokemon for Dancing Rob, and maybe a Tapu Fini is really good for Lurking Rocket, but too scared to bring it because of the really negative matchup, and then tried to go backline kind of neutral, where Shadow Nidoqueen can be neutral, and Cresselia, because of the super effective cycle cuts, can at least fight back a little bit more than Tapu Fini.
Yeah, this is going to be really tough. A lot of teams have that Trevenant as an answer to that Shadow Venusaur, but Lurking Rocket is not having that Trevenant, so putting Lurking Rocket in a really tough position. Also does not have that Registeel, another answer to Shadow Nidoqueen. Let's see if Lurking Rocket can make the adjustment here. Lurking Rocket's been on fire all day today and all week, and ever since the first win of the regionals in Liverpool, but Dancing Rob might be the match.
Yes, and he went through 3 champions to get to this point on the loser side of the bracket. But Dancing Rob is not a former champion, so maybe Lurking Rocket's really good at against the champions. But Dancing Rob so far has his number. But how does he bounce back in game number 2? We are about to have a lot here
好像
to see who will go to the losers finals here at the Pokemon Go World Championships.
Yeah, we got Dancing Rob the champion, but Lurking Rocket the champion, but Dancing Rob might be the champion slayer, and we're going into battle number 2, and it's going to be the Lickitung into the Shadow Nidoqueen.
Wow, Dancing Rob did not bring the Shadow Venusaur. Thought that maybe Lurking would have answers
啊，
in the
可
back,
惜
which he does in the wall
刚刚卡牌那边
body slam is going to hit the Shadow Nidoqueen.
Yeah, and I think
刚刚
this is
卡
really good
牌
for
那
Match
边
alignment is crucial here.
4
Cresselia,
强
one of the best tag
台
team
东
meta champs
组
in Open Great League.
4
And
强
now
的
we see the
台湾
swap
孩
now
子
to that meta champ, and now this is going to be a really good position for Lurking Rocket.
Yeah, what a catch, but I don't know if he was trying to catch the Earth Power there, and they got that the Fist
但
Spell.
他好强，
Did 2 for 1, did the same thing that
值得鼓励啊
but did more damage in that Earth Power. And another swap into the Cresselia on the Ice Punch.
Yeah, Lurking Rocket saying you can catch my moves and I can catch yours back, and now here the Cresselia is going to have so much health, just outbulking this meta champ's movesets here, and going to get so much energy for that.
我们应该跟他说好棒啊
Here is the situation. You probably can cycle cut down easily as this Ice Punch goes through, but you'll be well over 100 energy. So how do you manage this? You
啊，现在看到是 Go 的画面，看一下哦。VG 正在休息中 ，TCG 也在休息中。VG 今天 Video Game 这边今天发生了一个好像16强的时候，就是今天一开始的时候，16强有一场是，左边有一个两边的选手嘛，左边有一个选手基本上就要赢了，结果就是系统错误，然后结果官方判他败，然后就输掉比赛。我们观众看了真的是很哦，我真的觉得很哦。然后根据目前的猜测啊，是怀疑说用 Unite， 因为 Switch 本身是电视游乐器嘛，那如果用 Unite 随身机去线连对战的话，它就是很容易出现本身的 bug， 然后导致于它主机当掉。那这边好像是我不确定，因为都还在等官方解释。但是就这边好像是引用就是一些规则书之类，就是谁的主机出问题，那就判谁败这样子。但是他明明就差一下就赢，就差输入指令完他就赢了，真的很可惜。
Against Shadow Swamper, and the Grassnot's still here ready. We get the second shield. This Walrein is going to go to town with a 2-0 shield advantage, and I don't think you can even one-shot down this Cresselia.
Yeah, you'll have to throw energy to knock it out, and there's 2 protect shields remaining, like you mentioned. If Lurking Rocket once could probably even just stay in on this Cresselia and go for the Grassnot, but no, lets it go. And now once Dancing Rob sees the Walrein, he's going to know he's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, this Walrein is going to be really tough for Dancing Rob to overcome here. Throwing the high canvas here, you have to respect.
格雷来看转播了，谢谢。我觉得格雷你应该开一个就是转播，然后用中文讲解部分，就自言自语讲解这样。可惜他只到今天，你今天应该没空。
Yeah, and what an actually strong performance from Lurgan Rock here. What an adjustment. We're going to game 3 here. Dancing Rob with a strong performance in game 1, but Lurgan Rocket answering back with an equally, if not even more stronger performance in game 2.
Dancing Rob trying to make a team composition call brings
左边的 Dancing Rob 前几天是不是有上过直播桌啊？他居然打到败部那个准决赛，这么强 ，Dancing Robber。
Yeah, and it's in some ways maybe the Venusaur is better there because it's going to have at least positive matchups against the Cresselia. And let's see how both trainers adjust. That Shadow Venusaur does look really good, but as expected, Lurgan Rocket made the adjustment and brought in the Shadow Nidoqueen and the Wall Ring, not even needing either of them to handle a Venusaur, but still easily handling.
有人投够，我相信是格雷，对吧
？Heavily featured in game number 1 and 2 from Lurgan Rocket, and I think maybe that's what Dancing Rob was going for, trying to get the alignment of that Swampert into that Shadow Nidoqueen, because not only can you win that matchup, but you can get momentum into further matchups as well. But in this situation, he did see that Shadow Nidoqueen.
先看够，等一下看一下有什么其他精彩的地方。可能够休息换场的时候，再去看一下 TCG 卡牌又开始了啊！可惜明天没办法看到台湾的孩子打冠亚赛。刚刚他在4强的那一边落败了。他很棒，我们不能跟他说可惜，我们要大家一起跟他说他很棒，他表现得很棒。大家一起跟他鼓励他，他真的表现得很好。他比我们所有大人都表现得好，对吧
？Does Dancing Rob pull a wild card and maybe try to bait out the Shadow Nidoqueen and win with the Alolan Ninetales? Because once that Shadow Nidoqueen is out of the way, that Alolan Ninetales can do a lot versus Lurgan Rocket's team. Or will he go back to that Shadow Venusaur? We'll have to find out in this decisive game 3. It's coming up really soon. These trainers are already half locked in.
Yeah, both trainers making it the top 4 here. A lot on the line, determining who is the best trainer from Europe here as well. So we're going to be very excited to see the outcome. But regardless, making the top 4 for Pokemon Go PvP's World Championships is no easy feat by itself.
Can Dancing Rob defeat the first ever champion, or will Lurgan Rocket make it all the way from Liverpool to the champion in London? And it's game number 1, and here is that Shadow Nidoqueen once again met by the Lickitung.
Yeah, met by the Lickitung indeed, and now it's going to be interesting that Galarian Stumpus actually has a lot of play against the entire line of Lurgan Rocket, but with shields remaining, that Cresselia can put in quite a bit of work as well as the Wall Ring, and we're going to see the first Bison go no-shielded from Lurgan Rocket.
Once again, alignment might matter, but also an energy advantage, especially on a Shadow Venusaur, might matter a lot. Here comes the first Poison Fang. It is no Protect shielded. You often do see pivots here. After you get the defense though, you often see players go and switch out, but it looks like
我好像看到 PTT 的留言说绝地兔很强很坦，是不是？我绝地兔好像要养到超过40等，对不对？分身 Fang 不挡啦，大舌头送掉，反正被 debuff。50，等一下，他这个 CP 1497是50等哦，这也太贵了吧！超贵耶！我自己有养一只亮晶晶的绝地兔，它好像只要养到接近40等而已，所以我跟其他人的绝地兔等级差了10等呢，10等这么大的差距吗？居然可以差那么多，015、13的哦，哇！这个只能抓野生的，我没有什么零星的朋友，很难换。Boring。Dancing Robber 看起来是一个很自在的人。哦，有巢穴是不是？所以要去找那个卷耳兔的巢穴。可惜台北资源比较多啦，桃园真的是资源偏少。
Entire tournament on the line, bait call, and it gets protect shielded.
哦，保住。
Huge shield here, and now we come into Cresselia, but this is going to be so tough
哦，啊，他这只克雷是这个叫什么？月亮光束吗？还是什么？所以毒系的妙蛙花不用挡。疯狂植物应该打不掉它。哦，好痛哦！暗影的疯狂植物这么痛，月亮之力月爆，你们都称它为月爆吗？哦，发地震，地震收得掉了，印象中收得掉。然后对手后台剩一只窝灵，所以只要在一个岩崩，窝灵就下去了，就看谁先。可是冰锥，我记得冰锥收不掉嘉鱼，所以应该结束了。Dancing Rob 上去了。Dancing Rob Losers Final， 所以 to the Losers Final， 所以他还要再打赢一场，他就可以进冠亚，对不对？他再打赢一场，他就冠亚的，对不对？哇哦 ，Amazing！ 看 Pokémon Go 比赛真的很刺激。我现在看比赛的感觉就是卡牌比赛是我最了解的 ，Pokémon Go 的比赛是最刺激的，因为就要一直点一直点一直点。然后电玩的 Switch 电玩的比赛就是可以听到很多策略，就可以想象很多策略，但是因为要等选手输入指令，所以就会等待的时候就会有一点不小心飞到这样子。淡出。好，我们 Go 先看一个段落，我们去看一下卡牌的部分，因为卡牌应该开打了。VG 也开打了 ，VG 现在是8强第2桌预录的比赛。然后我们看卡牌，卡牌这边也是8强的比赛。捷克对加拿大的选手。左边是应该是阿尔飞天皮，因为应该所有的阿尔都是飞天皮，都配飞天皮。然后右边是汇流梦幻，纯的汇流梦幻。每回合都有变化，没错 ，Go 是每回合都有变化。尽管双方的队伍都一样，但是每个回合都有变化、算蛮刺激的。我觉得 Go 的比赛应该是有机会越办越大，只要 N 色不要一直搞怪就好了。希望它系统 stable 一点。
Yeah, the silver lining for Andre is that the Genesect was not knocked out. And yeah, knew that the Rose Tower was on top because of the Rotom phone. Alright, we're going to see a Rose Tower. Alright, 3 cards. Can at least get going now. Counter the path to the peak. You get the Rose Tower. Now you can start to use those Fusion Strike systems. And now you can find out that all of your Meloetta are priced.
Oh no. That is so rough, Kyle. I actually thought about it. It's that is just so
刚公布2张卡片，
we will see what happens here.
大嘴蛙 V 跟 V Star
from Andre. So looking at the top 5 cards, and you are able to choose one. Put it at
等确定有没有要打第3名再来 po 完。好，如果有要打第3名的话，那我们台湾孩童组的玩家就还有一个可以拿到第3名的机会，因为通常奖杯会颁发1、2、3名这样子。那就是不确定有没有再打第3名的那个季军赛这样子。可是可惜的是，直播都是公开组的啦，孩童组的只有到冠亚军才有直播这样子。
I perfected my exact 60 list. I am so comfortable with Mew VMAX to the point where I made it into top 8 with it throughout this entire tournament. So Andre definitely navigating this to the best of their ability for sure. So we are going to see that first Fusion Strike system off the active Genesect here. 2 cards.
Alright, I think there's a quick ball in those 3 cards, so we are, I think, about to see some devastation off of quick ball.
Yeah, we might need the face cam on this one.
该支持谁好啊？其实没有台湾选手以后就都不太认识了，而且帕路奇亚、阿尔飞天皮跟梦幻 都算是蛮主流的牌。
Also a choice belt on the
我自
Genesect
己唯一
so
有组
Andre
的
might
应
be
该
playing
是
an
梦
attack
幻
with
啊。
this Genesect.
阿尔飞天皮的话，我自己飞天皮只有一组。那阿尔飞天皮我看他们大部分好像都是放2组的样子。倒是我不知道为什么左边的阿尔飞天皮要放动能，我不太确定。因为没有打飞天皮的经验，等下再看一下。
Still searching through the deck. Oh, this is it. This is it.
Oh no.
This is the no Meloetas. I would love to see Andre's face right now because I am sure it is, yeah, that is, yeah, just the squints there. Of course, you don't want to give away too much information to your opponent. Obviously, if you
来啊！我看你很早就在留言了，可是那时候我还没开我还在晾衣服，哎，做家庭主妇的事情。
But also, not seeing a Meloeta drawn off of this, it might actually just
右边这个人的衬衫跟他的刺青融为一体了。
Yeah, just going through.
This is one of those, you look through your deck like 5 times, you're like, really?
Oh, I've done that many times.
Where is it? Oh, really? Both of them? No, maybe a card was stuck together or something. Oh,
yeah.
No, they're both gone. Okay.
Oh, just looking, searching for it, but never being able to find it. No.
哦，他在找，刚刚在找什么，然后但找不到。
Just quick ball discarding the boss's orders here, searching through again.
Quick ball 丢掉老大，再找一次。
I think
他要找的东西找不到。
as well. Just brutal. So there's 3 in play. I would assume you would grab a 4th one here.
Oh yeah, look at this.
Yeah.
Here we go.
哦，他要找美洛耶塔，他2只美洛耶塔都卡在奖励卡里，太惨了吧！
Elisa Sparkle and a double turbo. Wow, those prize cards. Oh,
梦幻的奖励卡很惨哎，
especially when you are a movie max player, and those are prize cards.
If Andre manages to win this,
直接下3只梦幻，没办法
That would be extremely legendary. Okay, we are going to see another Fusion Strike system off of this Genesect to be on the bench.
他抽牌抽得好用力啊！
Just kind of shows that it's been activated already for that Fusion Strike system, just so you don't reuse it again. So drawing into several more cards there for Andre, but really still having to map out and navigate through this matchup. Now knowing what the deck knowledge is, what's in the prize cards for Andre. Just trying to decide how do I get around this, especially when you know you're playing against Andres, who's playing heavy disruption, heavy path to the peak as well. We are going to see.
啊，他想用盖诺打一拳。糖果盖诺210加减20 190，再加腰带220，然后再加一个糖果250。哎，结果不是。可能想说打不在阿尔宙斯身上，那就。 用梦幻拖一下吗？啊，没差，因为梦幻也可以撤退嘛，对不对？梦幻撤退，放盖诺拖。OK， 可能送一只盖诺，再拖看。
At all points in time, so just throwing it up to your opponent. Hey, here's an escape rope. Make a decision, and then it's kind of on your opponent to be like, oh, okay. Let me see what I think is going to happen here, and definitely, yeah, just choosing to promote the Bidoof here instead. So playing a little bit more defensively, but we are going to see the evolution off of the Ultra Ball, discarding that quick ball, and I believe what is the Decidueye IV as well, I think. That's what that is.
Yeah, got Ultra Balled away,
yeah, got Ultra Balled away.
Lots of cards being drawn here. Rose Tower got first.
Yeah, definitely great sequencing as well. Remembering, oh, Rose Tower's in play, so let me use it here to draw 3 cards into my hands.
Immediately found the double turbo, so retreating, that's not going to be any issue this turn. There's going to be an attack for sure.
Timer.
Now, Andres just trying to figure out what's the best course of action here. I think maybe just perfect cards here. Is there a boss's orders in hand as well? Can just target down the Genesect V that's got all the energy, knock it out with the Trinity Nova. Just so many options available. The only danger to that is then you're not putting a path to the peak.
老大抓有能量的盖诺，看起来是要先敲他一拳。啊，对。 盖诺血量才190，所以阿尔宙斯他左边选手的有一只是可以打200，所以大牙里只要把人撤退就可以干掉这只盖诺。看起来是这样。
Yeah, and really, it would be knocking out the Fusion Strike energy, the Choice Belt, and another draw supporter, the Genesect itself. So I think that definitely is a good decision here from Andres for sure, but still thinking through all these actions. I mean, you have to think Andres is looking at a board state that he's probably not too familiar with playing against a UV Max. Like, what is going on here? Is there some sort of strategy I'm not seeing? So Andres still having to make sure that every decision is the correct one in this match. And also, as we see here, looking through with the discard pile for Andre as well, that's going to be huge for this matchup, making sure that you're checking your opponent's discard pile, seeing what resources they've already burned to their cards as well is very big for the UV Max. All right, so we are going to see that knockout here, the Trinity Nova knocking out that Genesect V with all those attachments on it as well, the energy and the choice belts.
我觉得右边梦幻
So
蛮难
taking
的。
those 2 prize cards and being able to accelerate energy from the deck, which is also huge for this too. Just lining up your board state as well as you possibly can to have recovery positions for the future of what you don't even know is really going on right now, but making sure that you're just lining up your board here is very important. Flying Peak UV and energy being taken from the prize cards. Andre
推了才能抽，
a UV
不然被罚
into
奖
active
哦。
position.
他差点，
Over on that side now.
Yeah, the really unfortunate thing for Andre
他
is
还
that
卡一只梦幻的奖励卡，刚刚看起来，一只梦幻，2只梅洛耶塔，然后可能还有一张双子嘛，有点忘记了。
2 power tablets, Cal. I think I saw 2 discarded.
Yeah, one I think got discarded to the Cram-O-Matic on the first turn, so it's really hard to
蛮
trade
熟的
at this
梦
point.
幻，
The big advantage
4
of
只
the
梦幻都出
UV
来
Max
了，
deck is getting out to the
太进
aggressive
化了吧？
starts, knocking out a V before it evolves into a V star, and when you're just on the
他的牌
back
库
foot
好
like
干
this,
哦。
and you've already burned through resources, and your prize cards are horrible, I just don't really know how Andre can get to a victory in this game.
连赛评都说，
I don't love to call games
连赛评都说我真的不知道 Andre 要怎么
The
赢。
player who sits in the right chair must just be in the unlucky chair, honestly, Kyle, at this point. This is the prize
That's been a
cards.
trend, huh?
Yeah, a little bit here. I'm getting superstitious here.
First seat.
Yes, absolutely. But again, this is a best of 3, so things could really turn around in another game. You never know what's going to happen, but Andre's still playing this out. As we mentioned a couple of times before, there is more time in this match than the players have had
对，
yesterday.
8强好像
earning their way
好像
to
16
this
强
point.
开始的时间就
So
是
definitely just thinking out your
70分钟还
actions
是
here.
75分钟？
Yeah, I think
超久
the only real out to victory I can see at this point is playing boss's orders every single turn.
下第4只梦幻呢，也没办法，打手都不见。
Off the Arceus this turn, you need 1 damage
进
modifier,
化
but you can get the knockout there.
可是顶多手填一颗而已，他先抽。
That's easy to knock out. Boss's orders that, and then you can get your last one with your remaining power tablets and choice belt.
甩不掉哦，有啦，机械虎，他要把能量丢掉吗？
Yeah, definitely. Especially, Andres actually still has access to the V-Star ability too, to Starbird,
Yeah,
so...
there's going to be a Marnie plus Path to the Peak at some point.
Yeah,
It's going to be
exactly.
a long road ahead for Andre, but hey, you got to play your outs when you can.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in contention to make top 4 here, you're gonna play it out. So
这一场就是所有的8强选手打赢，也就是 Top 4，Top 4就有机会争夺前3名，所以他主播他们在说大家压力很大。
This one is a heads. Cram-O-Matic discarding.
好像他们都习惯性双数就是正面，所以都不用特别沟通。
In the deck here.
Okay, there is 1 double turbo left. That's what I was looking for.
他还有一张 Double
Yeah, you need the
Turbo，
double turbo energy this turn.
他还有一张那个双重涡轮能量，
And then a boss's
然后一
orders to bring
张
up that benched Arceus V
2
for
张
a
会
two-prize
有能，
knockout. I think that's gotta be
老
where
大
you're
还有
going
一
this
张，
turn.
小
Yeah,
菊
you
一
wanna at
张，
least see an attack.
老大2张，
That's
小菊
for
1张。
sure.
It's got to be an attack for a knockout at this point.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true.
蛮极限的，我觉
So
得。
definitely going with that double turbo here off of the Chromatic. That was an extremely important Chromatic actually for Andre.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you can definitely see Andre. I'm sure so nervous playing.
先机球丢掉，会流能
On
量，
such a in such a
还要
back
抽
foot position as well. Quick ball discarding a fusion energy.
Yep.
And then just, I believe, failing it, just shuffling, you know, making sure you thin down your hand, discard cards, because you want to draw into the cards you actually want for this turn. It's going to be
Hi,
very
Albert,
important,
你
as
来
you
了。
said. We need a couple of pieces to make sure that we can get a knockout here for Andre. So
你刚刚还在为海通组的4强紧张，但好像已经有结果了。我们现在就是在等着他要不要打季军赛这样子。先抽弱智大厦 ，Ultra Ball 全丢。可是他有什么东西可以抓？好像没有东西可以抓，他没有宝可梦了。对，他要空手，然后第二只盖诺再抽6。双子先填上去了啦。他现在是想要抽到老大，然后糖果了嘛，210可以打220，刚好过阿尔宙斯，所以他想打死后面那个阿尔宙斯，看奖励卡可不可以拿出一些有用的东西。对，8强好像有2副梦幻。没有老大，但是他有机械弧，他有机会用机械弧抓出来，他要正面，他只要正面，他就有机会打死后台那只没进化的阿尔宙斯。哦，正面，有机会，抓老大，应该是要抓老大吧？可以抓老大对吧？
Looks like there's actually resources to get a knockout on the active if Andre wants to go for that route. Can get a choice belt and a power tablet.
他选腰带
210
，220，250，可是加腰带只能打250啊。加腰带不是打250吗？
Draw was so important, and I guess what you draw into also kind of formulates where you go after that too. That's
他还有一个糖果，所以过了，他可以先打死前面的阿尔宙斯，他手上还有捏一颗糖果，所以腰带加糖果过前面的阿尔宙斯，把前面那只阿尔宙斯打死。蹦，280，哇哦！努力的抽好辛苦。糖果应该用3颗了。他真的是很极限，然后机械弧有中啊。对，国际版还没有出的王蟹，所以国际版还没出的都不能用。那怎么看国际版哪些可以用呢？就是你如果有打那个 Pokémon Go。 不是 Pokémon Go，PTCGO 就是线上版的卡牌游戏，它里面在标准赛可以用的卡，基本上就是在我们世界赛可以用的卡这样子。那你可以用各种语言的卡没关系，但是它可以用的宝可梦就是那些。只要是国际版还没出的，你就要从你的原本那一弹的卡表里面拿出来这样子。所以他们大概是出到暗黑那个什么索罗亚克 B Star 前。 那一弹，然后时间跟空间里面有一些卡没有出，光辉的卡好像没有出，像大纽拉、光辉大纽拉之类的。
Yeah, we did already see the boss's orders kind of put to the top there too. So definitely planning out the strategies here. Usually when you
现在没有糖果的伤害是打不对，他现在手酸嘛，需要一个 switch 再一个撤退。但他应该有右边的梦幻，应该已经有拿回一只进化型的梦幻。
Too, like a Mew VMAX, and you're only, you're taking 3 prize cards, and then you have to work through another 3 prize cards or an awkward 2 prize card, 1 prize card sort of situation. It's just much easier and more fluid to take out 2 prize Pokemon, especially if they are the Genesect that dismantle your opponents and their card draw ability.
Yeah, and Andresh is getting rewarded for sequencing this correctly. Wanted to play all the cards out, use Industrious Incisors first to see what he drew. Drew a boss's orders. So this turn he can just play the boss's orders, have the Luminion V for next turn, and is lining up this clear 2-turn victory.
There we go. So just so fluid here in the motions. Andres, I mean, you can see so
梦幻又要做事了。
as well. Just
打前面的梦幻被打死，拿2奖，所以2奖拿。左边阿尔宙斯现在的策略是2奖拿，左边是阿尔飞天皮。有可能放喜翠速销我上推特上面去找图好了，我找一下图给你们。有那个网友整理的那个8强的选手使用的牌组类型，但没有卡表。
And now we are back over to Andre. We will see how these fires are going to get put out on Andre's side, working from a defensive position here. And, you know, that Melon is going to come down, but there's also so many fusion energies already in the Discord as well, Kyle.
Yeah, it's pretty much double turbo.
我加一下，我找看给你们看。
Clear game plan for Andre at this point. I think it's just boss's orders a couple times. You need an echoing horn. But you boss's orders up the flying Pikachu, get the knockout there, and then if you get another turn, you can echoing horn plus boss's orders for the last knockout. I think the unfortunate news for Andre is he will not get another turn, but really battling back and making it possible to win this game.
Wow.
Or just draw the boss's orders, sure.
Oh, yeah, it's just top deck it. There we go.
Yep.
Wow. So, I mean, but Andre taking it down to 2 prize cards still. Even working through that uphill battle, I mean, that was so difficult even from the start there for Andre. The cursed prize cards kind of happens there, but was able to bring it down to 2 prize cards. But of course, Andre
刚打完了，认输吗？
Get that boss's orders, that last knockout, and take the 1-0 in this match so far.
左边阿尔宙斯赢了，他有老大，他抓到老大了，对吧？等一下，我先把那张图片抓出来，到底去哪？为什么我叫不出来？
We'll be able to get through these games, no problem.
Yeah, once you're kind of set up and you're just going through the deck, it definitely can be very quick with the Mew VMAX. But Andres definitely navigating through this matchup. I'm sure Andres too prepared for this as well. You know, Mew VMAX is one of those decks that you know is a very prominent deck that you need to be able to beat. And so Andres knows that ability
这是8强的所有牌型。等一下，
being able to do that.
我已经把图片缩小了。这是8强的所有牌型。 总共有，你看哦，总共有3副阿尔宙斯，4副帕路奇亚，1副梦幻，唯一的1副梦幻就是现在场上这一副。然后阿尔宙斯的话，现在我们的选手是谁啊？我看一下，现在左边的选手是Andre， 不是 Andre。Andre 的话是这个左边 number 3的，他是阿尔宙斯 V Star 飞翔皮卡丘 B Max。没有特地写到有没有放速销，对，没有看到。
When everything flows perfectly, it is very difficult to beat. It's just, are you going to be able to have everything go your way in the face of all this disruption?
It's the bullet train, Kyle. It's the bullet train, you know? Once you get your initial board state set up, you just keep chugging away. It's awesome. I mean, it's just such a aggressive deck. Like you really just have to overpower your opponent with Mew VMAX, and that's how you take games. You're just able to make sure that you have those knockouts consistently and have too strong of a board state that he can't shut you down, or you're able to bump to the path and just get everything you need out of your deck. Just so much draw support with Mew VMAX.
今天都是梦幻帕路哈，没错，没错。
So concerned throughout this entire match, but I really do think it's just because you're thinking so hard.
这就是当今主流大战啊，没有小牌上来，可是倒是阿尔宙斯全部都放了飞天皮来克制帕路西亚，确实有理。那梦幻很努力的打上来了，我也觉得很棒，但是他现在在这边啊，刚刚第一局失利啊，他看可不可以把它扳回来。 他是有机会的，他是有机会的，但大家看起来都好累啊。选手看起来都超累。
For both of these players, certainly the most important match is the Pokemon TCG that they've played in their careers, I would say.
I would say so too.
All right, so Andre did mulligan, had no basic Pokemon in the opening 7, and a second mulligan. That is not something you love to see. Giving your opponent 2 extra cards to start this off. You don't love to do that, especially because the Mew deck does not tend to run anything like Marnie or Roxanne Roxanne does magical later, but you don't usually play things like Marnie to reset hand advantage and things like that, so anytime you mulligan in this kind of matchup, you're not feeling great, but again, the Mew VMAX deck just needs to do its thing. If you draw the right sequence of, Elisa, Sparkle, Power Tablets, all those things, it's hard to stop.
Yeah, Andre actually does not play any disruption cards. The only supporters that are actually in deck are 3 Boss's Orders and 3 Elisa Sparkle.
Yep.
So that is all we're going to see. No disruption from Andre's side.
Alright, only 1 mellow out of this.
大家大一点的聊天空间。选手好累的感觉，对啊，都打了3天了，而且都是 BO3，超爆累。
Something to work with here for Andre. So we are starting off on Andre's side, of course, opting to go first here. If you lose the first game, you get to choose whether or not you go first or second, leading into the next game. And going first as a Mew VMAX player is pretty critical as well for you. There are some sneaky things you can do if you do happen to go second, but going first and pulling off battle VIPs and setting up your board state very strong before you could potentially hit a path.
开局现在梦幻好像不差吧，我觉得。
So Andre having the option to set everything up is huge here.
我没有打过梦幻，我只有跟人家借梦幻的牌来过干瘾这样子。
Your ideal setup would be attach a Fusion Strike Energy turn 1.
不过跟梦幻的对手打多了，大概都知道梦幻要做什么。阿尔吕刚不好吗？都没看到，没错。直播桌上面好像没有看过阿尔吕刚龙。我看一下刚刚我找的那个推特，他好像把每一场上直播桌都做成一张图。不过目前看起来并没有看到，阿尔吕刚的对决有啦，有在第2天的，不对，在第1天瑞士轮的倒数第2轮里面有阿尔吕刚龙的对决啊，不是，是第2天的 Round 7，第2天的第7轮，大概是凌晨1-2点的时候，就今天凌晨1-2点的时候有阿尔吕刚龙的对决，可能要回去翻一下直播了。目前就只有看到那一场吕刚龙上直播。
V as well. Oh, actually, that was not a power tablet. That is a fusion energy. So now it's just a power tablet in hand for Andre.
梦幻要做的事非常单纯，就是敷3只盖洛，抽。哇，要丢哦！
It's always off the screen there. It is a heads. There we go.
VIP， 抓梦幻跟美洛耶塔，有了，他终于有美洛耶塔了。
Able to fill up the bench, got the perfect setup here. You got the 2 UV, you got the 3 Genesect V, and then the Meloetta. So this is flawless so far. We'll see a couple more Fusion Strike systems just to try to build up the hand for the next turn, but this is exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah, it always seems to be, Kyle, that it's always a power tablet burned to the Chromatic earlier in the game, so definitely just keeping track of that for down the line, because...
Chromatic.
Okay, let's see what's discarded to it this time for the Cram, and if it hits, or if it's not even played. Ooh, Rotom Phone first.
Yeah. I kind of like this. I think Andre's kind of hedging his bets against something like a Marnie plus Path to the Peak. You Rotom Phone, put the card on top of your deck, so that when your opponent plays Marnie, you draw into the stadium. Briefly considered using Chromatic just to get rid of the Battle VIP pass. It's going to be a worthless card as we go on. But thinking better of it, just saying, you know what, there's not much more I need to do this turn. Let's just Rotom Phone, make sure Marnie plus Pat to the Peak doesn't ruin my day, and be happy with the first turn.
Yeah, maybe just saving that Chromatic as well for a more interesting position you might end up in down the line too. So there we go. We are now on Andres'
阿宙斯可能会牺牲掉一只哦。他只填一颗电能，所以那这一回合是没办法3重蓄能。但你不要也好。因为如果站在前面为了3重蓄能被打死的话，先拿奖励就不太优了。今天去卡牌店打牌，想说玩梦幻，结果最后一场对手也是梦幻，然后他居然放了龙王蝎，哈？哈？你一个纯汇流牌组放了自己的天敌，你逆不逆天？太邪恶了，而且现在打梦幻的人很少啊。梦幻最大的敌人是梦幻自己本身吗？哎，不对耶，我想一下，如果阿尔宙斯是放那个涡轮能量的话，它也是可以减少攻击能量需求，对不对？对手场上如果我印象中是放3颗特殊能量的话，龙王蝎几乎是不用能量出手。看一下，因为我自己还没有投入实战用啊。龙王，减少5能量需求，所以对手，哎，不是哎，是减少对手场上的1级能、连级能跟汇流能，所以它只是针对梦幻本身呢。哈哈哈，有手就呼啊，是宝可梦数量，不是能量数量啊。所以应该是主要对梦幻有效，连击熊现在也没有很多，1级的更少，1级更少。所以他真的是针对梦幻，他是针对梦幻自己人哎，太狠了。
Force my opponent to have counter stadiums turn after turn. If they ever miss, maybe they just kind of fizzle out for a turn and the advantage swings back to you.
Yeah, just capitalize off of anything like that. Playing to all of your outs is so important. So we are going to see that Pat to the Peak hit on first turn. So definitely where you want to be, even if Andre does have the bump to it. Very important to play to that for sure. We're going to see potentially another quick fall here, discarding the boss's orders actually to the quick fall.
前击球还要抓什么飞皮吗？梦幻的第二招是打得到飞皮的吧？所以感觉不用特地叫飞皮，但他要找什么？他现在要找什么？感觉他自己也不确定要找什么，还是有偷藏了一只2系的宝可梦，拿出龙王蝎直接判败哦，而且英文版根本就没有出龙王蝎。哦，先拿霓虹鱼上手，准备下个回合，也是可以。但是雪道还在场上，对啊，不实际耶，我觉得。啊，不过因为盖诺赛克特他那边梦幻这边可能会解雪道，所以他现在有点像是说，你有本事解雪道啊，有本事解雪道啊，我霓虹鱼在手上，我要什么志愿者有什么志愿者，这样的感觉，是不是？是不是？那你如果发小菊儿填能，而不是盖诺抽进化跟手填的话，那你就没办法老大我后面的阿尔宙斯。那你如果发了老大，你就得靠自己抽到进化型跟一个汇流能量才可以打死我阿尔宙斯。哦，还要腰带或糖果，要3个东西，要的东西有点多。所以他有点在赌，对手抽不到，梦幻这边抽不到。
Andre has 2 good cards here. The double turbo energy is going to be
他拿了一个涡轮能量，涡轮能量放上面，然后他有办法解血道吗？没办法解血道，抽不起来。
Seems like pretty good odds he'll be able to pull it off.
有吗？
Because he did put that Rose Tower on top.
啊，有那个弱智大厦，可以试着抽，把它抽起来。做一个 switch。然后弱智大厦要不要撤退？等一下再说。然后就可以抽了，可以抽了。好，这样他刚好养2只梦幻。这是进化型吗？对，进化型，进化 ，OK， 可以打190了。再做个 switch， 他消耗手牌再抽。我最近拿什么？我最近只有组那个放逐流的连美龙 B Star， 就是我好像上影片上的那一副，然后又弄了一我还弄了一组什么？我前阵子打的什么啊？双弹瓦斯插制服混种，就是主打手是插制服，然后打完以后一直晃双弹瓦斯上去的那种2星牌，这样子。打梦幻超舒服的哦，但我还没有跟帕路球雷姆玩过。我目前组这2副牌啦，那好像耿鬼那边推特上应该还有牌组可以抄，不是很主流，但可以抄来玩玩看，不然耿鬼都放在那，不知道干嘛。最近打牌比较少，因为没有大赛。可是好像我合理怀疑，因为下一次大赛是10月1号的样子，我记得是10月1号，所以差不多也要公告打大赛的那个道馆资格赛的时间了。所以非常，我推测下个礼拜周末开始，可能就可以打道馆资格赛。但搞不好我们其实阿尔飞天皮我应该组得出来，我觉得可以组一副来玩。我自己比较难打的，也就是真的是帕路西亚，偏难。左边阿尔宙斯其实有点辛苦，他用高级球丢掉了刚刚抓的霓虹鱼，先抓阿尔宙斯进化。啊，没差啦，反正他在用阿尔宙斯的星星诞生去抓他要的东西就好了。6张手牌，右边。哦，所以左边他们发音叫 Andre， 右边叫 Under。我知道一下，抽山，他把手上switch用掉，抽山，摇头，左边摇头。开 V Star。他拿到血道了，所以先把 V Star 开掉。他是在思考要玛丽还是老博士，是不是？
But eventually, it's going to become harder and harder for your opponent to find ways out. And if they miss that one turn,
他没有拿双，他好像没有拿涡轮能量。剩30分钟。有机会打到 Andre 这边比较不急啦，但是 Andre 这边会比较急一点。玛丽他决定洗对手手牌。Andre 感觉是比较保守派的。啊，右边又抽到场地卡了。哇，感觉 Andre 要的抽起来的东西都不是他要的。 是有涡轮啊，但是没办法。
Over here, making sure
下个回合可能不好打。
I didn't get actually to see what was drawn off of those 5 cards for Andres. Did you, Kyle, see what kind of hand it was?
Not yet, but
一组飞天皮啊，看起来。
benching a flying Pikachu V.
I think there was a boss's order in hand that I saw. Of course, we see that flying Pikachu, VMAX, electric
已经手填过了，那就只能打天能。
Infinity Nova, charge up the other Arceus V on the bench.
这样填给谁？填给阿尔吧。
The hand is or what's in there. We could see the flying Pikachu powered up instead, but I have to imagine that was just benched to have a free retreater for the
我觉得皮卡丘就不要拿来进化了，
following.
把它当一个零费撤退的弹性换位手，可能比较好。
Deciding on energy here, there was, I think, only 2.
填2的，
Okay, so only 2.
然后手上1颗雷能量没了，他的牌库没能量了。
Unfortunately, from Andres earlier in the match here, so having 2 energy drawn out there and placed onto the Arceus V on the bench.
梦幻的机会。
So that 180 damage on that Mew VMAX now, and we are back over to Andre's turn. Of course,
Comes another big Cram-O-Matic.
yeah. I'm sure feeling much safer though, having that Rose Tower to be able to bump that stadium. But let's see how this Cram-O-Matic. Oh, maybe. Oh, there we go. We are going to see it. Heads or tails?
又出去了。
Traditional. There we go. It is going to be
掉出桌子的传统。哈哈，主播嘴在臭。
Any card that Andre wants here.
没有。 梦幻这一边的 Andre 这个选手，他手上有弱智大虾的，在刚刚被玛丽完以后，他有抽到弱智大虾，所以他等一下可以盖弱智大虾。只是不确定他要先盖来抽，还是他要先用机械虎抓东西。那我在猜他会想要让第2只梦幻可以打出来，应该是抓了一个汇流能量。那接着就是看填在美洛耶塔身上还是梦幻身上。
Pull off a big enough attack to knock out this Arceus V-Star. And given how poor Andres' hand looked, this might just be a devastating blow.
Yeah, I am sure.
先下一个手机，先把阵型布好。
He's
他不想看剩下的牌，他就是要腰带。可以翻5张，选1张放在牌顶。可他不想看下去，他看到腰带马上就抽起来了。哦。 看起来是有一个弱智大虾跟2颗糖果吗？弱智大虾给他下去，加2颗糖果哦，好痛！弱智大虾先发，前面填腰带，第1只盖诺，哎，他还没发人物对不对？我老大。
And a well-practiced new VMAX player is what we're seeing here right now.
真的是一个非常熟悉的梦幻玩家。这次没有，这个机械物没中。
Yeah, way more skillful.
再用手机。
Alright, we are going to see another Rotom phone, so a fresh 5 card.
哦，进化型，他应该，我怀疑。
What do you think out of those 5 cards, Kyle? What do you see here?
I'm thinking the fusion
汇流能确保下一个打手，因为这个梦幻打出去以后应该就，我想一下，他伤害210， 220， 260。
Definitely, all right.
220、280，刚好打280，现在梦幻又可以打280了。他刚刚好像没有手酸，是不是？啊，因为他打的是，他刚刚只是用130打那个大雅迪，然后没有配回去。
put Mew to the bench and then put it back out so that it can attack in consecutive turns. So not
进
gonna
化
be an issue.
That actually is a very important clarification, though, because the
手填
Techno
给
Blast
谁？
doesn't allow
梦
Saint
幻。
Pokemon to be able to attack for the next turn. So normally you'd have to reset that effect.
盖诺
back
3
and forth, but luckily
抽2
that is clarified. If anyone was confused about that. All right, so Andre now using all 3 of those abilities on the
哦，
Genesect
学美露耶塔的招式。
Following that attack here, taking the knockouts for another
哦，
It's the fourth fusion strike energy.
There we go. No, I mean that's great for Andre, but not great for Andres. That's for sure.
It's great for Andre, but not great for Andre 。他们的名字发音太像
I
了
don't，think there's even access to an Arceus V
主播都念得乱，
star.
都混
Power
了。
edge from Arceus V, and at that point,
哇，这个阿尔还没进化。
My goodness.
Oh my god！ 手上的事情，手上的东西又不能做事。他现在是想试着使用弱智大虾抽抽看，可是
yeah, what's your
只能
take
全
on,
下了吗？
the Marnie from Andre
哇
actually
，VMAX 下
using
进化下去，
access
等一下
to
危险
Rose
欸。
Tower?
我觉得左边的阿尔这一局挂了。
Oh, those are not good ones.
Maybe we put some bad luck on this. You know, with the Bidoof discussion, and I was like, Vivarol.
他手填给阿尔，可是他没进化啊，打不出伤害的话
Yeah,，definitely.
等一下梦幻再学盖诺，他就死掉了。
Yes, for sure.
So yeah, I think Andres' only play here is
他可以下雪道去拖，
but that's
然后赌他过不了皮卡丘 VMAX 的血量吗？
Alright, so
哦，
the
用
path
老大
is
抓
put，
他在
into
想
all
说要不要
that
花
Rose
掉
Tower state
可能
of
仅存的
that.
老大去抓
Just
盖诺来
a
罚站。
alone Pikachu, a flying Pikachu VMAX in the active here. No energies attached. Just kind of a sponge at this point in time.
可是 Andre 又哦，
The retreats, which is great.
想打死这只梦幻，啊哈，
rarely used power edge for the knockout.
先拿奖。
I was just about to say
可是
that.
我觉得
Usually not a good sign.
对不太好。
Indeed, but at least taking the knockouts here for that, so Andres is going to be able to
拿了一个3奖，但是他下一拳可能就没有了呢。
Now the fourth fusion
啊
strike energy is in
因为梦幻学盖诺是打
maximum
210 嘛
potential has been unlocked.
啊，他学美露耶塔就好啦。
Yeah, just gonna knock
就
out
气
this
绝啦。
Arceus V. Andre is down to 1 prize card, and I don't know if there's anything Andre
我觉得没有办法
There's no way to do it if
主播也觉得没办法。
VMAX, and I don't even think there's a way to really attack. There is a Raihan in his deck.
我觉得左边
That means we're
就
playing
投了
boss
吧。
wars.
对啊，他能量好像全掉了。
There's
Andre
so
might
much you
have
have to do.
Yeah, I think Andre may have locked
他也没用手段填能
I
啊。
think so too, which would, of course, bring us to a 1-1 and maybe going into a game 3 for these
对
players.
对对，没错，我觉得赶快进入 Game 3比较好。
Finally a third game.
Right,
对啊
that's true.
赶快进入第3局啊！
What's taken off
你
the
现在
prize
是
cards,
必
but-
输的局面，
Go out with a
你
bang.
拖到等一下第3局时间不够，压力大的是
Oh,
你。
yeah, that
他要让他
would
拖
be,
哎、
that would be great to see, actually.
Oh no！
Looks like bosses are
那就希望梦幻可以这一局把它收掉。
I don't even think there's basic energy in the deck to Trinity charge with though. Just gonna pass.
有啦，他可能抓了，
It's the only the-
他可能在前面的瑞士轮抓了很多帕路啊，
Pass with the flying Pikachu VMAX in the
结果在8强赛没有抓到帕路，先撞梦幻。
But maybe there's some chance that your opponent doesn't have a way to switch out the Genesect.
只要盖诺赛克特能撤退，
Back into the sponge
哎、
position.
不行哎、皮卡丘血量太高了。
There's no access to fusion strike system.
有一个有2颗双重涡轮啊，拔能撤退，但是梦幻可能会打不过，然后时间被拖到剩下20分钟，他拼双败或和局吗？
Had a way to switch, you would just do it.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
Just trying to
高
fit
级
out as
球
many cards as possible.
This is actually the deck.
确认一下
There
百
is
库
an escape rope deck. I saw it there.
Yeah, there's an escape rope.
没有老大对不对？
There's a way
有
to do this Genesect.
有老大，他现在就在拼，不对，抽老大没有用啊，他要抽老大跟双重涡轮能量，然后去打死他一只大尾狸，
That's for sure.
就可以结束了。
So,
哦，他手上有2张老大啦
we're，just gonna see some thinning here. Of course,
高级球
if
丢，
you, are able-
高级球丢2张老大吗？然后先机球再丢掉一个南瓜精，
So, we'll be able to bump
因为他要拼能量跟老大，
that path to the peak
所以他丢了2张老大。
on the bench
Ultra Balls away 2 bosses orders.
for Pumpkaboo to come down. Wow. I mean, I guess when you know you're gonna bump this path and you're able to draw,
I didn't even
对对对，他不能用先机球把南瓜精丢掉，不然他的盖诺不能发，他差点出事哎、
Easy to draw.
好险好险！
it's gonna be
他刚刚那个手势看起来就是要一口气发2颗球哎、超危险的。
clunky, but it's pretty low, especially after Andre has been.
有了，涡轮有了，再一张老大，没有，但是有移动神，所以投降，左边投降，现在1-1要进第3局。对，Andre 回来了，但是 Andre 就是要等下一局了。我是希望梦幻上去啊，因为太多阿尔飞天皮了，反而会有点看腻的感觉。可是他们只剩洗完牌以后，可能只剩不到20分钟哎。
Kyle, the pressure is on. I'm sitting here still wondering, what if that Marnie wasn't played? You know, I'm sure Andres is too.
然后左边的 Andre 超喜欢用玛丽的。
Yeah, exactly. It was. It definitely was. So, but. It happens that way sometimes, and we're just setting up.
这场对他蛮精彩的，有的算是都有一直在互相干扰到对方。他们刚刚第1局的右边梦幻试图拼到一堆资源打死他阿尔宙斯那一手，我也觉得做得很漂亮。可惜最后是被左边的阿尔宙斯抓到老大，打死他盖诺这样子。这非常可惜，就是老大的组成，所以我觉得两边算实力相当，接下来就是看自己的运气了。
But I mean, as you said, Kyle, the Mew VMAX is, I guess, technically a little bit favored here in this match, but really it can go any way, as we saw in the first game with what happens there. But you know, I'm sure Andres is well knowing. Andre is a very experienced Mew VMAX player, so Andre's going to play to the outs. I mean, in the game 1 that we saw too, Andre was even attaching to the Genesect V. Like, I know what my Pokemon do, I know what I can get around here, and I know all my options. So there is that for Andre.
Like we do have a damaged sleeve for Andres, so gonna switch that out, make sure there's no marked cards or anything like that. Sometimes just the wear and tear of shuffling your cards all day. Some of them get bent or nicked up here and there.
Okay, here's a question for you, Kyle. Do you prefer a fresh pack of sleeves before you go into a tournament, or do you kind of wear them in a little bit?
I think
现在主播跟赛明在闲聊，但有点听不懂。
That was my first mistake, and I can't even tell you how many times I dropped my entire deck all over my lap because my sleeves were slippery.
Yeah, you gotta shuffle them a little bit.
剩下20分钟，我觉得很难。非常有可能讲和最后一局和，因为和好像是1分，对不对？双败分数好像比较差，我不确定哦，因为我没有打过 BO3 的东西，所以他们有可能最后讲和。可是我记得8强赛是单淘汰啊，是复赛8强是单淘汰赛，所以应该是要拼出个胜负。啊，有可能时间到以后还是要拼出个胜负，因为8强是淘汰赛，一定要拼出胜负，那就有可能是比奖励卡数量，要去看规则。我是没有比到需要去看什么奖励卡数量或者是之类的，因为好像有个规则是，如果双方奖励卡都在3张以上，那就是其中一方打到奖励卡剩余3张以下，则立即获胜。然后另外一个做法，然后接下来另外一个条件是，如果双方的奖励卡都在3张以下，则有一方先拿到1张奖励卡获胜，就是有点像宙斯战的感觉。这样我就不是很确定，因为我从来没有打到需要面对这种局面过。我看左边的 Andre 又在摇头了，苦恼。左边也太多球了吧！右边卡的东西都不太影响，我觉得右边卡的东西不太影响。会场好多欢呼声哦，应该是其他赛场的那个比赛有一些结果。格斗系站前台。
What? Okay.
Okay, this is a huge Cremomatic. This could be a game-deciding flip.
啊，没有正面，他有机会一拳秒到对方的那个橘色速销。他刚刚的那个骰子如果正面的话，应该秒得掉。他落超，橘色速销落超，所以他有机会把他秒了。经典之战都在硬币之差，你知道吗？附近有鼓掌声为什么？看一下其他赛场，我稍微瞄一下其他赛场。反正梦幻要做的事情大同小异啊。这个是 VG 的比赛，刚签名比完啊，我们在做笔记。然后这是 Pokémon Go 的比赛，看起来还在打，所以有可能是孩童组那边已经分出个冠亚的资格了，孩童跟少年组那边，或者是其他8强的组了。
Still a rough position for Andres to be in. So Andre just taking that tails and rolling with it. No path, or sorry, no bump to the path to the peak. But
对，要看他有没有办法抽到。我不确定是不是跟我想象中的一样，是手田小菊儿就可以秒掉了，对不对？他要拼的东西偏少，手田小菊儿，可是秒不掉啊，因为他不能抽，学到用不掉，所以现在又换回阿尔宙斯这边，他填能了，这样子打80，过不了美洛耶塔，美洛耶塔好像是90，对不对？因为被减伤20。然后打盖诺。他动不了橘色速销 V Star， 他有放橘色速销 V Star 可是他反而换位，他反而老大抓了盖诺了。他要忙那个什么3道搜索嘛，就是第一招啦，抓2张卡，任意2张卡，所以他有点想把橘色速销当弃子，还没有美版还没有索罗，所以赛场上都没有索罗。而且美版的索罗出的时候，应该是跟鬼龙一起出吗？我记得已经看到美版的卡表了，我看一下哦。Hello 八大蝶，我记得线上版那边的讨论是不是已经有那个美版的卡表
？Sometimes you just fall into this situation when you're playing UV Max.
索罗出的时候
，Oh my goodness! Oh, that hurts to see, Kyle. Just the pass over back to Andres. Andres now able to get an Arceus V down.
索罗出的时候，同时就有球雷姆跟鬼龙了，所以索罗可能会比较没机会表现，就他有点错过他的时机了，我觉得。最近看到大家都在打鬼龙，所以然后索罗都消失了，直接从我常去的赛场上消失了，大家都把它收起来了。他进化了最终啊！因为梦幻空过吗？刚刚我在找卡表的时候，梦幻是不是空过？看这样差很多我看一下他的招式是可以把手牌全部丢掉抽7嘛？可是首先要他丢掉2张能量，直接把盖诺收掉。结果阿尔宙斯飞天皮是靠橘色速销要赢的吗？这样很有趣哦。我真的很兴奋，我尽管想帮梦幻加油，但是左边的阿尔宙斯这个橘色速销这一手真的非常哇！梦幻空过第2次，抱歉我有点激动，但是梦幻空过第2次不会吧？我看一下，速销是丢掉1颗能量可以增加30的伤害嘛？1张能量卡可以增加30的伤害，所以 最多丢3张，可以加90，打250，他最多可以打到250，是打不掉梦幻啊。现在就是赌盖诺这边完全不能抽，填到能量，直接把他碰死。学盖诺把这个塑胶打死，哈哈，气死啊！一个格斗系拿我3张奖励卡。哦，南瓜精吗？看起来是南瓜精哦。手甜，主播没办法相信啊！一个橘色塑胶居然帮忙对抗梦幻，打了这么多。哦，丢2张雪道啊，因为手上有南瓜精 ，OK 啊。他应该是要抓第2只阿尔宙斯，基础的。没错，阿尔宙斯第2打手，第3打手了。刚刚前面塑胶已经拿3个奖。
From that Trinity Nova off of the active Arceus V Star, so definitely need to put down another potential attacker. There is still Crobat B in hand as well, but of course Path to the Peak is in play. We can see the Bibarel engine coming in clutch, not stopped by that Path to the Peak. So still able to draw a couple more cards there.
好，打180。
Yeah, I think Andres has the 1-2 punch lined up. You do 180 damage with the Trinity Nova, even the power.
可以了。他只要打死这只梦幻就赢了，所以先摸他一下。梦幻你要么飞回去，但你飞回去你就几乎没有下一个打手。所以我觉得阿尔宙斯，你看他也没有特地去看他的手牌，他就是东西放着。但牌面有点凌乱啊，裁判可能会提醒他整理一下。Probably play your hand down. You only fusion strike system for 3 cards. 智颖安安，你刚刚有跟我打招呼，我没有看到，抱歉。我把聊天室拉高一点，这样就不会被其他东西挡住。
Yeah, it really was. It was all put onto that Cramomatic, and it was the tails.
But hey, when you're playing UV Max,
you kind of expect it.
That's the game you accept to play. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Cramomatic, you flip heads, you go flawlessly, sometimes you flip tails, and you fizzle out.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what we're seeing here right now. So even the Pumpkaboo being played to be able to bump that Path to the Peak is just leaving that Mew VMAX still.
啊，这个梦幻 VMAX 头痛。左边只要有阿尔宙斯进化型，他就赢了。吧？因为他有老大哦，他手上有老大，所以跑掉也还好。有没有？不太可能打130飞回去啊。
That is very. Oh, there we go. UV off of that.
有第2只梦幻，但是所以要思考要不要飞回去，然后换其他只上去被打，这就可以思考。等一下再做一只梦幻出来就好。先击球。丢1张看起来是高级球。左边 Andre 期待的应该是直接把这只梦幻 VMAX 弃绝，但是右边在思考的可能是要不要用精神之跳直接跳回去。腰带填给盖诺。还可以，做给流系统。哦，可以手填会有能，不对，他刚刚不知道有没有填给盖诺了，没有注意到，应该是看起来应该是填过。对 ，Psychic Leap， 直接飞回去，因为他要学精神之跳的话，好像要梦幻 V 基础在后台才可以学，所以他要整叠飞回去。打130、190，打190，看起来是打190吧。送南瓜精上去。 哎，130。加腰带不是160，然后再加糖果不是190吗？
Now Andres just lining everything up, wondering how can I lose this game?
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
哎，伤害不是190吗？精神失调是多少啊？70还是130？我查一下哦，抱歉。对梦幻真的不熟。
It's very clear that I am in a position to win. What can I do to prevent my opponent from disrupting that? And there is a boss's orders to bring up the MUV. Will be a 2 prize.
啊，精神失调是打70啊。
This is 1 prize card away.
是我不熟悉，抱歉。OK， 他老大杀掉一只梦幻。哦，然后又让后面的阿尔进化了，所以 Andre 这边他在打死对方的阿尔宙斯只能拿2奖，但是左边的 Andre 他不管打死任何东西都胜券在握，而且还剩7分钟，所以一定是打得完的，一定是打得完的。
Yeah, and unfortunately, I do think getting that second RKSV starting play is basically
先继续丢 VIP 对战参加证。
has not been used yet. You know that's just an onboard thing that can happen. Starbirth for the game-winning boss's orders. So as long as Andres has a boss's orders in deck.
Andre 看起来好像已经也没有老大，所以他也是要想办法尽量收。可是他就是得打死一只阿尔，可是盖诺死定了啊。哦，用美露耶塔打吗？田盖诺。觉得有点难呢。盖诺血量190，后面那只阿尔宙斯摸他一下200就走了。然后210加30，240，加2颗糖果。小菊儿，再加2颗糖果，不行，小菊儿这样子他抓不到后面的阿尔宙斯。现在是不是必须直接做掉后面阿尔宙斯才有一个机会？
Fusion strike system into that second chromatic to just chromatic away.
机械舞丢机械舞正面。
Yeah.
他要做什么？他要做什么？
Because obviously
他发小菊儿。
For Andre, so here we go, putting those fusion energies onto the Pokemon.
打死对方阿尔宙斯，所以呢，阿尔宙斯上来，直接打200。
And can simply use Trinity Nova for 200 damage, and Andres is going to advance to the top 4 here, even as a boss.
他要杀美洛耶塔，哦，真的蛮精彩的哎。第3局算是梦幻从一开始就被学到压到了，但是他们的前2局算打得蛮精彩的，真的很棒。 不愧是8强之战。
Oh my goodness, and Andre, of course, I'm sure is absolutely devastated here. That was probably one of the most unfortunate.
左边这 Andre 那边邪笑，口罩拿下以后，觉得他脸那个脸看起来好奸诈啊。
Especially because Andres started with such, like I said, an unconventional start. You know, like Hisui and Decidui being the active there. That was just such a wild game to watch, Kyle. And such an intense game 3.
Yeah, Andres put all of the faith into Path to the Peak and paid it off.
Yep.
That was the deciding card in the matchup. Path to the Peak stuck there for just too long, and Andre was unable to draw a way to get rid of it. Just couldn't draw into anything. And
好，我们来看一下其他赛事比到哪里了。 VG 现在又在讲解阶段，然后 Pokémon Go 有比赛可以打，所以我们来看一下 Pokémon Go 吧。
But again, the options have a lot of places to go either. You have to worry about the Rakuten down.
You have to think that there's going to be a powder snow down because it's not very effective. You can't get multiple powder snows. You only get 2 there, and now you're met by the Rakuten. This is the only Pokemon that
对 Pokémon Go 今天会比出冠军。现在是 Go 的少年组 Grand Finals 是冠亚吗？冠亚。
And Mewtwo might want to just protect the Rakuten anyway because it just beats everything it seems on Alan's team. As another Isosphere is going through, this is going to be a huge call on which move Mewtwo will throw. Will he go for the big Bug Buzz or finally bait with the Bubble Beam?
Yeah, it looks like Mewtwo is going for the Bug Buzz here, and this is going to take out the wall ring here, but it's going to be an uphill battle for this option. The bulky Rakuten, and now
哦，被虫咬的独蓝熊
Bubble Beam as well,
有点痛。
permanently debuffing this option.
Bubble Beam 去降攻吗 ？Bubble Beam 好烦哦！我告诉你 ，Pokémon Go 里面的技能，我最讨厌 Bubble Beam。被对手 Bubble Beam 超不舒服的。哦，做了一个换位，被打中以后做了一个换位。哦，卡牌那边，台湾的小选手拿到了4强奖杯，他们不会比3、4名，他们直接拿4强奖杯。他拿到4强奖杯，真的超有纪念性的，真棒！等一下应该 Facebook 那边就会有人贴照片的吧？哦。
2-2, and Mewtwo has a chance to become the first ever Pokemon Go Seniors Division champion.
Yeah, there's a lot on the line here too. Mewtwo definitely with the advantage on the winner side of this bracket, but Alan has already.
他们是打5战3胜吗？
The tough Rakuten without any hard counters here.
来问一下格雷，不知道格雷在不在？
And you know, if we get a win from Alan, we got a lot more battles to go.
看起来不在了。不对，他是用中文。
Like you mentioned here, needs to pull off this victory, and I mean, you just have to hope that you can get that Rakuten in some type of situation where maybe you can mudshot it down or powder snow it down, because that has been the key for Alan. If he ever put this
右边的 Alan 是来自败部复活的冠军，然后左边的是来自没有输过的冠军，所以在双败淘汰制的状况下的话。 如果 Alan 干掉了Mewtwo 的话，有可能还要再打一次，就是 Mewtwo 如果在第2次干掉 Alan 的话，因为 Alan 被双败淘汰了，他就是亚军。那 Mewtwo 就是有点像有第2条命的概念。我记得这就是双败淘汰制吧。
Yeah, this is going to be a super uphill battle here too, and this is the non-shadow Swampert too, so you can tank the poison veins and the overpower
这个世界赛看到好多人用暗影的宝可梦，害我都想要用暗影。存点星辰来养暗影宝可梦好了。
And there was 2 rock slides remaining, so even if you protect Shield and as it goes down, you would just take another one back to back, and you don't even have a good avenue to finish off the Slayer Sunfist. It's just loaded with energy, and you have to either powder snow down or throw the Isosphere in another super effective rock slide is hitting Alan.
Yeah, I think Alan's going to try to bank everything on this Shadow Nidoqueen.
岩崩，一直岩崩。他要送掉他的地亚海狮吗？ 没送，挡了。想用戏血收掉对方，但对方的岩崩来了，在对方丢出岩崩之前丢出冰锥，算得好准哦。ATN 满呢。 换上暗影尼多后，可是对手更换去找怪，像这边尼多后会比较辛苦一点，因为尼多后弱地面弱水，他直接发了一发大地之力，但是对方开盾挡掉。这边看起来有2发高，左边 Widow 有2发高压水柱，尼多后决定不挡，直接被下去。上了存到1发，再2下的冰锥地牙海狮丢2发冰锥应该可以收掉巨藻，但是有点来不及。哦，开盾吗？哦，他想把冰锥留着对付那个地猪霸。哇，没了 ，Me Widow 赢了。Me Widow 是 World Champion 了，恭喜！他的外套好帅哦，他的外套是那个等一下我要截图啊，找不到截图按钮。哎，按错了，对不起。
Seniors Division Pokémon. These young trainers in the senior division. Our first showcase of them in London.
这跟那个芒果之前当那个带屏主播的时候衣服好像。
You love to see that. You love to see the sportsmanship. And Me Weedle takes the first ever crown. But Alan making it all the way here through some tough competition in Masters Division to get to this final stage and almost reset the bracket, even though having no answer for a Raquidid. I was highly impressed with Alan's play, especially with that Shadow Swampert.
Yeah, I agree with you there too. Such a tough team composition.
哦，冠军诞生了！我们刚刚见证了冠军诞生的一刻。
So much talent in these young trainers, and it's very exciting to see them take it all the way to game number 5. They're almost resetting the bracket for Alan.
Wow, and I've never seen a Raquidid look so good. It was such a force there by Me Weedle, and I mean, just those bug bites, that big bug buzz, even being able to flip negative matchups, which you would think. The only Ninetales came into the Araquanid, it's throwing resisted bug
看一下其他赛事，卡牌还在广告 ，VG 在采访，那就只能先放着啦。好，先放一下，我去喝个水。上个厕所。
And I think very excited to see how these trainers play out in future tournaments, years to come. This might be a rivalry that is starting to build through this competition in London.
Yeah, I was thrilled to see the 4 shadows there from Alan, and like you mentioned, this rivalry can build. But once again, congratulations to Me Weedle and his Araquanid. Let's take him to the interview right now.
The first ever Senior Division World Champion in Pokemon Go. How does it feel to hear that?
It actually really feels very amazing.
哦，采访阶段吗
right now.
Yeah.
My opponent played extremely well, almost got back. Yeah.
What do you think ultimately was the deciding factor that made you win that match?
你觉得最终赢得胜利的关键是什么？
The matchups. I mean, I got quite lucky on the final game. People basically the same team every time, so it's kind of 50-50 lead almost. But, yeah.
Now having this
他觉得是他运气好。
What comes next for competition?
大家的对手都
Next
差
year
不
as
多。
well. Just continue to try and do my best and compete.
他想要试着表现得更好。
The other better people, the Master Division as well in the future.
Yeah. There's a lot of people out here taking pictures, cheering for you. Is there anyone you want to say hello to or thank you to?
Yes,
你会想要感谢的人吗？
There's my team members also there. Hi. There's also my colleagues that are chilling, hopefully, at their houses, in bed or on a chair or whatever, watching the stream. I'd like to say hi to them as well. Yep.
Thank you so much. Congratulations again. And now, Caster, back to you at the desk.
会颁奖吗？会直接在这个地方颁奖吗？
Incredible performance from Me Weedle there. What a humble champion as well, thanking the family, friends, and colleagues and teammates training him to be poised and ready to take the first ever World Championship for
真的，这是 Pokémon Go 的世界第一个世界冠军呢。
And like you mentioned, I love the humble answers. I mean, he gave credit to his opponent, played really well, knew he kind of had a matchup advantage, and that Alan was kind of forced into that team competition the whole time. Made the read.
真的是 Go 的第一个世界冠军呢，因为从来没有过世界冠军。
To become that first ever Pokemon Go World Champion in the Seniors Division, and technically the first ever Pokemon Go World Champion because this happened before the Masters Division.
Yes, absolutely there too. Yeah, full-on Pokemon suit with the EV hat. I don't know if you caught this, but it also had the Mystic Team Mystic pin on there too. So Guido also getting the medal.
因为大师组都还没开始比赛，所以呢，他当然是历史上第一个 Go 的世界冠军。
You know, and asking what's up next for him. He said, well, there's next year, and I think Guido is already ready to start defending his title here in the following year competition.
Yeah, this is just the beginning for Play Pokemon. Is the inaugural season, but there's still so much remaining. We have the losers finals, we have the winners finals, and then we're gonna have the grand finals in the Masters Division.
哦，公开大师组这边还要打胜部的决赛，然后跟败部的决赛，然后接下来在胜部跟败部的决赛冠军再出来打总决赛这样子，所以应该还有3场比赛在 Go 这边公开组的部分。哦，所以卡牌这边也在转播那个 Go 的冠军诞生诶，好给面子哦。好啦，接下来来到哪里嘞？这是 TCG 的画面，卡牌的画面，暂时没有比赛吗？其实很嗨耶！你在现场看到这样子各种赛事的比赛，同时在荧幕上同时看，就很像在酒吧里面，大家看自己想要看的比赛，然后一起讨论同样的话题，我觉得真的是非常令人兴奋，非常好的一个气氛。卡牌又回来了。继续打8强，好像8强每一个人都要上直播做一次。
We've got one more left, and oh boy, am I excited for this one. This is going to be a real treat. We're going to have Kaiwin Kababe up against Ryota Ishiyama. Two powerful decks, we're no surprise too. It's actually a rematch of the North American International Championship Finals with a few treats here and there on their lists.
Yeah, I mean, the players have prepared so much for this moment, and their meta calls, their practice has carried them all the way up to the culmination of the competitive season. We took that break right between for COVID, and now that we're back, the players are still hungry. They've been playing their hearts out.
他在说，选手们已经准备这场比赛准备非常久，尤其是经历新冠肺炎的疫情的关系，他们已经渴望这场胜利非常久了。他们真的是。就是非常期待的要继续对战下去这样子的感觉。
We can give them plenty of merit, but I know everybody at home is ready to jump into this match, our last top 8 match. Let's get down to the table, get into things here. We've got our last top 8 match coming up. This is where things are going to get exciting. Kaiwin here, no stranger to the World Championship stage. Top 8 at last year's World Championships. I know it would mean a lot to him to break through, get a top 4 finish or better, and this is where things are going to get super exciting. Ryota Ishiyama playing this Pikachu and Arceus deck, of course that flying Pikachu, accomplishments of their own as well, also in the top 8 of World Championships last year as well. This is really interesting. We've got a matchup between two players who were in the same top cut bracket last time we had the World Championships. And
他们上一次
instead of facing off, they weren't facing off the top 8
of 他们曾经都在2019年是世界8强的选手。
You hope that all of these players can get
现在
rewarded for the
Senior are
effort,
now
but only one
into
player can
top
advance from
four.
this position. Both players have been in a similar situation
哦，不对，
before,
这是
as
之
you
前的，
said,
这1
and
小
we
时
can
前
see
的。
they're both very calm, ready to jump into this game. We know this Arceus Flying Pikachu deck is dialed in and just dead set targeting this Palkia deck that has taken the metagame by storm.
Yeah, this is the pretty similar list, if not the exact same 60 cards that we saw before we played by Daichi for Daichi to advance into the top cut. Another thing to note as well, for Kaiwin has won the World Championships in a younger age division, not in Masters, but that would be an accomplishment of its own. Winning the World Championships twice is an accomplishment very few people can boast. We get to the prize cards. Quick shooting not as relevant.
左边是阿尔飞天皮，右边是帕杜奇亚。哦，那感觉很担心帕杜奇亚会垫假的。
8 match, but none in there here for Ryota. As we're getting underway for things, Kaiwin's gonna kick things off. And wow, this hand is so poor here for Kaiwin. Just the Sobble has Drizzle for next turn, but no way to find any of the 4 battle VIP pass, no way to dig further with Greninja, and no Palkia V down on the first turn of the game.
Losing out on that window of opportunity to have that explosive start means we have even less of a chance to get out ahead before the Jolteon memory capsule completely shuts this deck down.
Yeah,
going for the early professor's research.
Yeah, that got rid of a lot of resources there. Capture energy, got rid of a memory capsule. Ryota doesn't have deck information. If another one was Thrive, there would be no way to turn Jolteon on at this point. But this hand is looking a lot better. It looks like it has an Ultra Ball, can get rid of some pieces, can get down the double turbo energy for turn, and it has a Crobat V to fill the hand back up. After a pretty tough discard, Ryota's gonna be able to bounce back pretty nicely here on the first turn.
We usually see players agonize over making those sorts of plays, but Ryota knows I have to just cut my losses. I know I need to get into the driver's seat of this match. I'm naturally favored. This is the matchup I built the deck for. I just need to execute, and using the professor's research to find those pieces is the first step in advancing into this bracket.
Yeah, Ultra Ball gonna pitch a few pieces away, and this will find the Arceus V, the centerpiece that allows everything to happen. Allows you to accelerate your Pikachu, your
左边开局是火焰鸟，它不是阿尔飞天皮吗？是有放火焰鸟的。是为了打梦幻吗？
This deck designed and played throughout this tournament because of the expected high counts of Palkia and an Inteleon engine. Kaiwin's deck is meant to utilize Irida in combination with the Drizziles to find these specific pieces, but Irida by itself is a pretty lackluster supporter. It pretty much just grabs your item, in a lot of the cases, some of these items like Cross Switching need to be played in multiple counts, and your deck really does not function at all, especially when you are ability locked and you're facing down a Pokemon that can one-hit KO your Palkia V-Stars.
If that all comes to fruition, we're going to see the same thing that happened earlier in the bracket. Kaiwin just getting stonewalled out of the game. Ryota still trying
右边凯文的眼神看起来好凶。凯文这个 AU 应该是 Australia 澳洲来的，左边是日本选手六打伊西亚马。飞天皮来了，阿尔来了，手田双涡轮，他好急哦，是急什么？
Yeah, it gets everything else. The Crobat, this is going to be a big card. Do we see the switch? We do see the switch. That's a huge grab. The Moltres can move out of the active spot.
他这回如果可以换位的话，就可以做蓄能。他有Switch可以3重蓄能。
Oh, you hate to see that if you're Kaiwin. You've already off to a poor start, and your opponent has pretty much
高级球，他还要抓什么？抓伊布哦，他要对对手的水系特性宝可梦施压。伊西亚马好急，伊西亚马好急。右边头痛了。3种能量，2电格。这个比较像是阿尔宙斯 Counter Box 吧，电系、2系、格斗系都放欸。我觉得比较像 Counter Box。
The Arceus is set up. The EV is waiting in the wings, ready to go.
阿尔宙斯准备好了，伊布也准备好了，能量皮卡丘也准备好了。接下来就是凯文该怎么做了。电话变色器。 在被封特性前发个特性。
Especially if the double turbo energy is already found, all that's needed is basic energy and an Arceus V-Star, and you can just grab those 2 specific pieces off of the Starburst. So almost certain we'll see Irida get grabbed, but the real question is, you're again, there's positives and negatives to playing Highway's list. We've seen a lot of people play 1 copy of Battle VIP Pass or 4. No link in between them, but Kaiwen's playing 4 Battle VIP Pass, those cards can no longer be played. So essentially Kaiwen is playing with a 56 card deck, but it's worse than that because you can still draw into the Battle VIP passes, which cannot be played.
Right. We've seen, especially with the new VMAX, they have a lot of ways to turn the VIP passes into fodder for those discards to thin down the hand for Genesect. But when it comes to Palkia, they're much more all in on that feast or famine with the Battle VIP pass. They're expired at this point.
比赛规则不知道，没关系啦，反正刚刚看到冠军了，他是真的打得很好。
So disappointed here in the first game. We know this is going to be an uphill battle, but the fact that Kaiwen had such a weak start to put insult to injury, you hate to see it. And it looks like, wait.
No, the quick ball's going to get played. Yeah, he's going to go back into the deck with this.
He's going back in.
Yeah, there is an evolution in sense for the follow-up, but the way things are looking, Kaiwen understands that, listen, the odds of my Inteleon engine being shut off the rest of the game is so high that it's just worth it to dig through the deck a little bit more with Greninja. You see a few extra cards, but even if you could pick any 2 specific cards out of the deck to draw here off the Concealed Cards ability, there's not much that's really going to buy Kaiwen out of this position, especially when you miss the ability to apply tons of pressure with Moonlight Shuriken on turn 2. That's really what Kaiwen was looking to do. Take care of the Eevee. There's no way for Ryota to protect this Eevee. No mana fee, no ability to stop bench damage from being dealt. And this big opening means that it's pretty much on Ryota. The Jolteon gets established at this point.
凯文继续。继续做，能做多少是多少。可是他水能停在前面就有点失算，他等一下就被电死了。他这一回合要填给谁？还是尽量的抽，尽量的做吗？我觉得他得手填一下帕度哦，这样至少下回合可以做事，但是又怕他被老大抓出去打死，所以看要不要做第2次帕度。没有，不做。
You know, these are going to be a terrible 2 cards here for Ryota for something on this lines of being able to not establish the lock. This is a simple way to get Arceus V-Star out, even most likely means the cards will be there. I'm going to research and gambling off of finding a basic energy. You have to feel for Kaiwen at this point because you had a potential. This matchup is in no way favored. You have to deal with a Jolteon lock. You have to deal with weakness on a 3-prize Pokemon that you can't return 1-hit knockout. But you do have options. Greninja provides you options. Palkia V-Star with early aggression and cross pushers.
哦，日本的那个官方大使那国贴的那个日本选手上直播桌，他好像都会贴一篇推特。就是现在这一场，左边的日本选手被定义为是阿尔飞天皮，但是我看起来他还有放速枭跟火焰鸟，我会比较倾向称他为 counterbox 啊。换火焰鸟上去罚站，进化皮卡丘 VMAX 进化了一步，还有博士，哇，太顺了吧！要什么有什么。博士抽起来又是怎么嘞？进化阿尔宙斯 V-Star 直接发特性做换位，有机会。直接飞天皮上去开店，啊，老大，然后飞天皮上去开店 ，Switch 老大，然后飞天皮开店，把帕路奇亚电死，右边就彻底的什么都被废了，全废了，武功全废。
Precisely. If the professor's research whipped all because we already had the Arceus V-Star, we still have the Starburst.
看起来是先击球丢掉一只阿尔宙斯。
The full shutdown of this combo.
Yeah, you need to find that. That's also a big grab off the research.
他们的牌组成看起来都是2组飞天皮，然后再来就是看伊布跟雷精灵放几组。 好像大部分也都是2组。然后会放一个南瓜精，插字符可能会放1，那火焰鸟倒是第一次看到。再抓一只伊布吗？然后再星星诞生。
Yeah, so grab the EV off the quick ball, and we're now going to see the Starbirth grab 2 cards. Most likely, going to be the memory capsule card. Immediately grab. That is the piece that makes the
选择第2张要选什么呢？
possible. And this last card, it could be anything at this point. The double turbo energy is already there, so maybe a way to disrupt the hand or.
双重涡轮拿到了，他好像没有 Switch 类的东西，他看起来是抓了一张玛丽，然后一张双重涡轮。或是他要，他其实也不用学到了，他可能做第2只伊布机，想办法就是施压给他继续锁着，就是避免雷精灵被打死。首田水晶封特性封起来，把能撤退，皮卡丘上去，重点是电谁？下雪道 ，Oh my god， 堵得死死的。杀我的伊布没关系啊，我还有雪道。要点点召唤吗 ？Keep calling 吗？看起来是 keep calling 啊，哎。辛苦。Chilling there, but again, now with Path to the Peak, the memory capsule, we don't have Star Portal, so the acceleration, the explosiveness of this deck was completely missed out on in the early turns, and now is completely cut off.
And this play is smart because it allows Kaiwin to thin the deck out a little bit more. The best card that Kaiwin can draw to this point is a Melon because it draws you cards, it's not relying off of finding specific pieces, and it gets your Pokemon powered up. So that's Kaiwin's ideas. If I do anything next turn, it's going to require me playing Melody, attaching and attacking, and then doing it again the following turn because I'm not going to have access to Star Portal.
If we can take this, you know, in game number 2, we have to start thinking ahead, right? And if we can get a repeat of what happened earlier,
我觉得这一局开局阿尔飞天皮，阿尔这边做的很足了，所以应该右边没什么机会翻身，我觉得。
You know, you're back against the wall in a very terrible matchup. Your opponent fully set up, walking you down. Kaiwin still playing his heart out, still trying to play towards these lines, hoping for the Melanie to come out next and save his bacon.
Yeah, that's one of the things you'd regret if you scoop early in the top cut match. Like, could I play this out? So, Kaiwin understands I'm not going to go down until all 6 prize cards are taken or until I can physically do nothing else with my hand or play any other cards. And it makes sense. You've got the time. You get some more information about the deck as well. Something we don't talk about a lot is it's a closed deckless tournament. I'm sure Kaiwin has ideas after watching Daichi and Ryota now on stream multiple times playing this deck, but you now get to see when your opponent's in front of you specific counts of cards, knowing that these lists are exactly the same. So that's what Kaiwin's kind of taking in, is just information about how do I plan the next time. It's also time to think at this point.
凯文还在努力吗？有机会吗？我是不太了解这样子的局面还有没有机会啊？
The early turns and oh boy, that's a Pokemon we don't see a lot. Crabominable V.
Crabominable V was a special tech that these
Crabominable V 好胜毛蟹。
around the thread of that Miltank U2V Union deck, you know, with the trigger avalanche, you can be cheeky, trying to discard the top 2 cards from the deck.
第一招可以丢掉对方排骨顶2张是吗？可是他要填3颗能量的，有点辛苦。一直过到好胜毛蟹可以打的吗？ 可是基础宝可梦打不到飞天皮哦。他有机会无视吗？
And it only does 150 if there's 10 damage onto this beach. The advantage to playing this card,
And there's another pass.
Yeah,
So unfortunate. There's nothing that Kylin can do from this position. Ryota's just going to take knockout after knockout. At the very least, Kylin can keep promoting these single prize Pokemon. Maybe
好胜毛线增加对手战斗宝可梦身上放置的伤害指数乘以60加90的伤害，我觉得没什么机会，因为他过不了飞天皮的招式效果。还是说他要喷光对手的海库
？Yeah, here we go. I mean, at this point for Ryota, it's pretty much just autopilot. Maybe like to get their Pikachu up and running, but there's nothing threatening this one. You've got now a fully powered up Arceus that's going to be hitting for 180 damage. Not really in range to be knocked out at this point, especially when your opponent's not going to have access to these cards like Choice Belt, like the quick shooting Inteleon to even utilize that ability to put some more damage on.
But overall, the setup has been completed.
好大抓好胜毛线，电死！哎，等一下，好胜毛线不是弱电吗？好胜毛线是弱钢哦，一拳打不死。等于他可以利用好胜毛线去扛一个回合吗？
We've seen so many rule the region, right, from Palkia V that's just been have no other options for the turn. We've seen the highs and lows of this Palkia V deck, but who knows?
I'm on my aces. Oh, here we go. There it is. Trigger Avalanche. There's sort of Marty. Okay.
丢掉2张，玛丽跟博士。
With this knockout, we'll just go ahead and take 2 more prize cards, put himself 1
knockout
away on this Palkia V star on the bench. And at this point for Kylin,
空过换对手。啊，凯文这边难啊，因为他帕路西亚上去揍不死皮卡丘，他就是被电死而已啊。投降，开始下一局。看起来20分钟就解决了。
Yeah, good matchup in general, but the fact that even against any matchup at that point with how Kylin was drawing, absolutely not much. You can maybe keep up a little bit better because you can have access to shade dealings, but missing that first turn is so crucial. The format currently is really fast. A lot of decks want to just get up and running. You see UV-Max able to put on a lot of pressure. Even Arceus variants can boss his orders in combination with some damage modifiers to take knockouts onto opposing Pokemon V. And Palkia is just like that. It tries to, with this list, put on pressure, have the option to put on pressure with double cross feature plays, with Moonlight Stricken plays on the Radiant Greninja. And again, none of that's possible without Palkia V. That's a card Kylin really wants to see on his first turn. And he's going to be going first, so it has the Battle VIP pass that is an advantage in this list, but again, if you don't find them now, and you have something like Irida in your hand, you're really going to be wishing you could play those cards, not going to be able to on your first turn, no sports.
The speed of the format is the name of the game. You talked about it, Ethan, with the Arceus having that star birth, searching your deck for the 2 missing pieces you need allows you to quickly convert to your victory, right? Depending on the current board state, you're going to find those missing pieces to make that combination happen to seal the deal on a game. Meanwhile, on the other side with the Palkia, we've got that Battle VIP pass, creating these very quick explosive starts, very consistent setups. And that's what Kylin needs. We need to see the classic Palkia V-Star Battle VIP pass opening, the Irida Radiant Greninja Capacious Bucket. We need the All-Star cast to come through here in the second game. And hopefully, you know, not even that setup. That's only one piece of the puzzle. The other side is hopefully Ryota gets some very bad prizes. We want to see the Jolteon in there, the memory capsule in there, something to slow down the ability for this counter list to lock him down.
Sworders in there is a pretty big deal. A small copy switch as well in there. That could be a big deal as well, especially if
coming out stranded in the active. We saw that Galarian Moltres V in the active. Without that switch, maybe Kylin does get a few more turns after all.
And if there's a matchup you don't want to give your opponent all against it, it's this one because it's
好了，第2局，但我觉得阿尔飞天皮就是来克制环境里的帕路西亚的，很难打，害我都想煮一副了。卡的东西看起来也没有很重要，帕路卡的可能还会有一点影响。
Here we go. Are we going to be able to get back?
VIP pass.
Pass the battle VIP pass. Go smartly.
This bucket, of course.
Yeah, smartly just go through that.
这次帕路先攻，
There's no reason not to. For some reason, if you're
有机会在对手封住特性之前做好他要做的事情。所以帕路先攻的时候打飞天皮跟锁特性的雷布是有机会的。
It's really going to be relative on the other cards in hand. I think we already saw a Drizzle in there, so there is at least access to a guaranteed shady dealings. However, you build the hand that discards some resources and can all get reset thanks to Mark.
Yeah, it's a tough choice because now with the Battle VIP Pass, you're going to make that decision right now. You're thinking to yourself, if I want to take maximum advantage of these early windows to get as much shady dealings as possible before the memory capsule and the Thunderous Awakening shut that off, or do I want to go more aggressive with the VIP Pass, getting a second Palkia set up, but just going for the balanced opening of just one Sobble, one Radiant Greninja, just going to keep it going that way. Right now, we have the Water Energy as well to fuel that concealed cards, discarding the hand, draw 2, looking through it as well. Once the deck comes back over, going to conceal cards for 2, another Origin Form, Palkia V, and the V-Star, so it looks like this is almost complete. You think you'd like to see one
手上看起来捏 V-Star 是吗？ 手天水能填前面应该没关系啦，对方第一拳应该打不出来。等下对方前面站的是速枭吗？看那个颜色很像速枭，但有点反光。
There's mulligans and a few other cards over on Ryota's side, and there's some pieces to work with. Does have I think the best piece
there we see. And the evolution incense, we can find his Suian Decidueye V-Star.
先发净化熏香去做排除检索，确定能量数跟宝可梦都还在之类的。因为注意 Ryota 他在检索排库的时候，他有把，例如说能量类，他就往上推一点，他并没有改变排的顺序，但是当他要检索某个东西的时候，他就往上推，这样子就会知道数量。他先检索一次能量，接下来检索一次宝可梦，然后现在是检索第2次的宝可梦。
And this evolution incense is an indication that the professor's research will play this turn. You know you're going to be discarding some other cards in your hand. Might as well get some deck information.
哦，他前台站的又是橘色速枭。
Let's say 2 EVR in there, and you decide to hold on to Jolteon. It makes no sense at that point. You'd rather just get rid of that and prioritize keeping some other pieces. So this is a smart play for you to just get rid of information. Besides that, it will most likely just grab one of those cards like this Suian, this V-Star. That's really the only one you want to discard.
稍微看一下其他地方 ，VG 还在打这个是8强 ，Pokémon Go 是在打重播吗？还是公开组？不确定。双速枭 B Star。现场感觉好吵，不知道选手会被影响。丢掉一只雷布，抓伊布，天球丢掉速枭 B Star 没错。抓飞天皮，手上该不会就是博士了吧？
Yeah, I mean, playing into the Moonlight Circuit is sort of in a way, yes, but you want to get EV down regardless. Yeah, like, it's a risk you've got to take. You've got to get this Pokemon down to try to evolve in the next turn. One Jolteon was already discarded with the Quick Ball, and the Arceus Beam is there with the Turtle attachment and pass.
下了澳洲是填一颗豆能，然后下了学道，下博士抽起。 水晶第一胶囊先填给伊布。通过换帕路，哇，帕路要把握机会。 啊，能做的做一做呢。
As the Palkia V-Star and an evolution in sense, so we could be seeing an Irida. There is a guaranteed way to get that out.
他现在应该是很想要抓平就出来杀吧，
You cannot.
不太确定。因为皮卡就进化上去以后，他就很难打。
I think a smart choice is just find the Drizzile now and search for the training court, since really without training court you can't even utilize something like the conceal card's ability.
Exactly.
It's just going to open up more options for Kaiwen this turn.
Yeah, the Greninja is a rule box Pokemon, does fall under the influence of Path to the Peak, and I think at this point you know that with this game number 2, this final chance to stay in the World Championship tournament, you have to take maximum advantage of this moment in time before the Thunderous Awakening cuts you off.
So this is actually a play that I like that Kaiwen is taking route-wise. You start we're starting one of the worst Pokemon possible with the Sui and the Situai.
进化抛弃啊，手田他要杀一步，让他下个回合还是能动，也是个方法啦。 他的 V Star 还没发，因为雪道还压着。先拿一奖，看起来是拿到杜鹃。 这时候拿到杜鹃还好，用不太到，应该说不能用。
And the big thing is half the peak stays in play. Ryota would have actually been okay with the turn ending with half the peak gone, replaced by training court, because that means that Ryota would have access to Starbirth. And you see how powerful this hand would have been if Starbirth was available. But all it is just a bunch of ball search cards, and Path to the Peak shuts off the Straw Engine. Nothing like B-Barrel in this deck. It's really reliant off of these Pokemon with Dark Asset and Luminous Sign to find the supporters and fill the hand back up. None of that's possible. However, Pumpkaboo can allow things to happen for a time. You really don't want to bench Pumpkaboo in this matchup. It's an easy target. It's a one-prizer. You've got no way to pick it back up, so a couple of quick shootings down the line can take care of it. And it also fuels more damage into the subspace while attack, but it's all sacrifices you have to make to be able to draw cards and keep up with the aggressive pace that Palkia V-Star provides.
Finally, we are seeing Palkia flex what it is capable of, even in this potential counter matchup. The Path to the Peak, as I said earlier, is the piece that Ryota wants to use to maintain the advantage. But now, because that was not properly sealed up before the Path to the Peak hit, it's now becoming a massive detriment. We've got the V-Star now off of the Ultra Ball. With the evolution, now we have access to treating Nova for a little bit more damage, get the energies onto Flying Pikachu VMAX now, but does bump the Path to the Peak, needs the Starbirth now. Instead of using it to solidify a favorable position in the game, is using it to try to catch up.
So this is a decision that Ryota has to make at this point, is one of your EV with the memory capsules has already been knocked out, you're already down a Jolteon. Do you commit resources, or rather commit your choices off of Starbirth to set up another Jolteon, or do you understand that it's a little bit too late in the game? And besides the fact that it might be a little bit too late, Kaiwen hasn't used Star Portal yet, and will have access to that since the Pumpkaboo came down and discarded the Path Peak. Ryota can grab another Path Peak and play it down. A Stadium hasn't been played for turn, so it can still go into play and be applied so that the Star Portal cannot be used. But at the same time, Kaiwen still has a way to get rid of that. Shady Dealings will guaranteed to be online this turn, and Moonlight are going to take 2 easy prizes on the Pumpkaboo, and the Eevee have to be something that Ryota is considering as a detrimental effect of playing this down. Hasn't even played a supporter card for turn.
Yep, just getting the research now, 7 more cards to refuel and keep digging for those key pieces. Kaiwen is a half step ahead now in this game because of the threat of the Moonlight Shuriken. Ryota can't bench that Eevee safely. He's still thinking about it. It's in the hand right now, but the odds of getting this to stick onto the bench and get the evolution is so low. As the second Path to the Peak is going to try to protect it from the Star Portal Moonlight Shuriken combo with this clutch Stadium.
Yes, the Stadium War is pretty relevant in this matchup. Kaiwen only playing 2 copies of Stadium that we see typical in this deck. A Path to the Peak and a Training Court. Ryota really going for a more disruptive build when it comes to this deck, and stadiums with 3 copies of Path to Beat. Even if Ryota puts the first stadium card into play, will always win the stadium war because even after the one gets bumped and one gets replaced, there's still an extra stadium remaining over. So Kaiwa's going to have the ability to have a turn of abilities at this point. If there's one turn to play down Training Court, this is the turn that Kaiwa's really looking for.
If you can get that Training Court down, bump the Path to the Beat, opens up that Star Portal, the Moonlit Shuriken combo, the classic play.
啊，球球这边还没拿奖，不过该做的好像也都做到了。
Some of these basic Pokemon, usually Sobbles end up being the target, but a Pumpkaboo and Eevee are perfect targets as well to get 2 prizes, get more resources as well to keep this advantage going. Irida is going to be the perfect answer for that.
And you see how this matchup can start to spiral out of control if Kaiwa has
依赖的。
too long. This means that Shaky Dealings Inteleon, which usually, if things are going right for Ryota, never come under the play because
回收网跟谍报的前面 BE， 趁现在还能发，赶快发一发，真的。 没错，唯一的机会就是趁能用特性的时候赶快用一用。谁知道他等一下雷伊布跟记忆胶囊什么时候出来？哦，什么都有了。其实他训练场地也拿到了，发水桶。
Yeah, there is still technically the argument to go after another Pokemon. Again, the Pumpkaboo is always going to be there. And even when I evolved to Jolteon, still 100 HP, so it can be knocked out by a simple Zigzagoon Headbutt Tantrum ability as well. So those options will always be there. There's no way for Ryota to remove those Pokemon off.
等一下就可以发那个星星隧道，把水能填回来喽。先冷挖，抽2。哦，2张交错切换机。哦。现在只有1能，所以是有机会先抓皮卡丘出来打一拳呢。
There is also the consideration if you go for the Moonlit Shuriken.
回收网下，然后再谍报。要抓什么呢？老大吗？刚刚没有注意到他人物发了没？他想要净化熏香抓净化型，先养第2只，先把第2只养好，能量先填好。 没错，要让下个回合有打手可以打。1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、8、26，再加原本的60、220，现在打220。法能撤退？哦，用射的。V-Star。训练场地拿回来1张，然后手填给满血的帕路奇养吗？ 全新的帕路奇亚，看起来旁边的裁判是有用笔记的方式记录他每一动啊，这样子在 review 上面就比较没有争议哦。号角回音喇叭把对手后台铺满，伤害又提升了。射2只小怪，拿2奖哦，奖励卡大幅领先。
Flying Pikachu in 2 turns, or can take a knockout of 2 Eevee Pokemon in 2 turns. But understands most likely this Flying Pikachu is going to come up and attack as soon as the following turn. So if Taiwan can utilize those Frost Pitchers that they're in hand, with 3 Frost Pitchers just chilling, relaxing in hand, ready to be played the following turn. And the mapping is pretty simple. You just gotta do that twice, hit with 2 Palkia V-Star, and it's all possible. But Ryota's still got some counterplay at this point. Boss's orders to bring up something like the damaged Palkia, that could be a solid play. That's really going to be the key card, but with how things stand, it looks like Ryota really just eyeing up the Marnie, and this is going to put a big stamp into Taiwan's plans. All those Frosters are going to the bottom of the deck. I mean, they worked so hard to get, drawing so many cards with sealed cards, finding pieces off of the Drizzile and Inteleon. And these cards are nowhere near as good as they were as were the previous cards in hand. Scoop up some other pieces, we'll see how he can utilize that when turn passes over to him.
The scoop up net's going to still open up a lot of options to break free and claw back from this Marnie, of course. From this position, it looks like Ryota is just using that to try to lock down. At the end of the day, this is still a Marnie path to the peak deck, has some semblance of lockdown even without that memory capsule play. But missing out on that full setup means that you have to take down your opponent on a much more even keel. You aren't enjoying this looming presence where you're so far.
可是如果用光辉甲贺冷花先射掉对方2只小怪的话，就有可能帕路奇亚的伤害就下来了，就降低了。所以他刚刚在犹豫要不要填帕路奇亚，因为他的下一个打手有可能用帕路奇亚是打不死对手的。难道他放了2把回音吗？
are some benefits to keeping it open, but Kaiwa's going to have a lot of more access to concealed cards and more powerful ability. But hey, with that being gone at this point, it may actually be better to leave the training court in play. It sounds risky, you're going to give your opponent access to more resources, but you're going to make sure that for the rest of the game you can utilize Luminous Sign and Dark Asset. And whether or not that was a choice,
there. Powering up the Galarian Moltres speed. All of this motley crew of Pokemon that are on the bench are still able to be powered up by Arceus V-Star. So now Ryota is trying to do that classic style of, I have a lot of different options to keep my attacking threats up and running in response.
Yeah, absolutely at this point. And Kylin has plenty of options to work with, has an attachment for turn. Actually,
fill up.
Yeah, not as many options as I thought at this point. Just has a scoop up that can utilize that to put the Palkia up. The plays are there, but the problem is this Arceus V-Star, the only 3 bench Pokemon on the bench for Ryota, not really in range of being knocked out, especially when Kaiwa does not have a lot of access to shady dealings, especially when you're going to cut off the access to the Intelli on shady dealings right away by using that scoop up net.
Scoop up net to get the Drizzile out of the action. You have that Sobble that can evolve, use that shady dealing. The fresh origin form Palkia V-Star being promoted into the active. This is a huge liability for Kaiwan, however, having this damage to prize Pokemon on the bench, 2 more Sobbles are benched now, and we're looking through the deck here with shady dealings.
嗨 Albert， 欢迎回来。帕路现在是右边是帕路奇亚，左边是阿尔飞天皮。可是这个阿尔飞天皮跟刚刚看到的不一样，这一副除了居舍速枭以外，它居舍速枭有进化型，还放了火焰鸟、插字符，所以我觉得比较像是一个 counter box 啊。刚刚帕路第一场因为后宫的关系，然后对手第2 turn 就把雪道跟雷精灵回忆胶囊全部做出来，然后填好飞天皮的所有能量，全部都做好了，所以右边就只能上去被打死，上去被打死，上去被打死，然后惨牌这样子，然后赶快开第2场。那现在是第2场，第2场的话，因为输的那一方可以选择先后攻，那帕路当然选择先攻，就可以在对手做出雷伊布之前，把所有特性尽量发完，所以他现在领先状况下。那他刚刚因为对手准备做第2只雷精灵，在还没进化的伊布已经亮出来了，那右边的帕路就选择说把帕路拔能撤退，换上了光辉的甲贺冷花，然后星星隧道因为刚好那个训练场地压掉雪道，星星隧道填在冷花身上，然后把他的南瓜精跟那个伊布射死，然后就拿到第2、第3张奖励卡，然后就是现在的局面了。那看起来是用阿尔宙斯去打前面的冷花嘛，冷花下去，然后帮火焰鸟填能这样子，可是我刚才就在想说，冷蛙射了2只小怪，导致于双方后台数量减少，他会不会帕路打不出伤害？
fresh attackers to keep that threat level
插薯条不一定有什么效果。第24打200，难道等一下想要用切面 B 去射吗？但我觉得好像不太实际耶。他现在就是不要面对皮卡丘，他就有机会。
Yeah, Kylin taking this attack with the fresh Palkia because he really wants to force this flying Pikachu out into the active spot because that is the win condition for Kylin. Kylin wants to attack into this flying Pikachu 2 times to win the game before Ryota is able to take 5 prize cards. And it seems pretty doable at this point, especially when you're keeping pace with Melanie at this position in the game. There's no other way for Ryota to really respond. If you take a knockout with something like this, or rather hit into this active with Arceus, Kylin's also okay with that at this point. So this really seems like Kylin has found a way to claw back, and you can see how Ryota's deck is a lot less strong, a lot less powerful into this deck when it doesn't have access to slowing things down dramatically with Jolteon.
Now with Arceus B hitting the bench, you're just powering up that subspace well, but still trying to keep, again, that threat potential to have different things to pivot into to try to drag out this game. Another Marnie going to try to slow things down, buy some more time. Ryota is scrambling here. He needs to take 5 prizes before Kylin can find a way to eyeball and snipe down this Pikachu VMAX. It's all there for the taking, as you said, Ethan. Just has to swing into it twice. This list isn't one that has the sort of healing that we've seen from the classic Arceus V-Star Inteleon list that wanted to just kind of grind you down. Here comes the Pikachu after all to get the knockout.
Yep, so there should be 200 damage on that bench Arceus, so players dice around a little bit to get that settled out. So
yeah, the judges are there, they know what's going on.
Yep, Max Balloon here, it looks like 220 damage actually, so Max Balloon, yep, there we go, okay.
Oh yeah, you were right.
Yeah, you know what, we'll figure it out here at this point, but there's the Max Balloon, it's going to be dealing just enough damage with the reduction of that double turbo energy, 280 after weight, this will also prevent basics from attacking it. It's really good into rating Greninja, but with the inclusion of Cross Features, you can play around it, things possible, no longer a play, and there it is, and Max prizes.
We knew that one of the, like, the switch was prized. There's another Marnie coming off the prizes, so another chance of the lockdown, disrupting Kylin. Even though I can't stop you from using Shady Dealings, I can just make you put the cards you got from the Shady Dealings right back into the bottom of the deck. Hisuian Heavy Ball now coming out for Kylin. Going to take a look at the prizes and hopefully find just a little bit more info there. Looking for one more basic Pokemon, just going to shuffle it, put it back.
Yeah, Drizzle bottom there as well. Yeah, it's not good. These prizes aren't going to really be relevant when it comes to getting them out of the prize card because Kylin's been
皮卡上来了，开店了。这只帕杜再被电死的话，凯文就突然落后了。可是如果他抓阿尔宙斯出来打，他的帕路还是会挂，这样他没有第3个打手，很麻烦欸。难道他们讲第3只帕路吗？
Yeah, so Kylin wants to play another Melanie this turn because at this point you want to pretty much put yourself in a spot where you need to attack your energy for turn, but you also need to attack for the following turn. Melanie's going to do both of that. It's going to accelerate the energy onto this active Palkia, and then as well at that point, he can utilize the manual attachment for turn on the Palkia.
对，第3只帕杜奇亚，美容先只能填前面，因为前面能量还不够。然后手填给帕路，还是已经手填过了，我不确定。美容先抽3，手填给帕路，他还有进化型吗？
gives up that KO before it gives up those prize cards. Ryota looking to go down to 1 prize, and then Kylin is going to try to take everything back by taking down this flying Pikachu VMAX.
对啊，他只要把飞翔皮卡丘 VMAX 干掉，他也是赢啊。销售交换机现在手上1张。 428 220。
already going to be dealing enough damage to put this flying Pikachu in a world of hurt. And Ryota It's not able to win the game this turn. Maybe one prize card short if this Palkia gets knocked out, and that's the advantage of playing V-Star Pokemon.
Ryota 反而要在弃绝凯文这边的两只宝可梦，但是凯文有机会的话，只需要弃绝一只飞天皮卡丘，他就赢了。
We only have the Palkia V on the bench. We still need the Palkia V Star. We need that energy attachment as well. But again, with the training core hanging out, we can find that from the discard pile to get that attachment. So it looks like as long as Marnie's vengeance doesn't get a massive shutdown here, Kaiwin will actually be able to close out this second game and take us to a game 3.
Yeah, Ryota's just really deciding at this point. Card hand size, a lot of factors that go into playing this Marnie. You also have to find a way to
there's a calculation there. You can see a lot of thought. What are the chances that the Marnie is actually going to lock down? Do I want to try to retreat this line, Pikachu VMAX, maybe promote a 2-prize Pokemon into the active? Is Kaiwin really going to be able to assemble the cross switchers?
I think the big piece that's missing here right now, and Ryota has it, is the double trip energy. Ryota wants to attack with a Pokemon that's not this flying Pikachu VMAX because he wants to make Kaiwin work for these last 3 prizes to get not only an attacker powered up off of 5 cards with the draw for turn included, but also have to gust up this flying Pikachu on the bench, and from there it's pretty easy. But the fact of the matter as well, on the other side does have Boss's orders in hand. That could be a key piece he's thinking about keeping, but no, I think it's just worth at this point. Actually, no, wow. Boss's orders bringing the Drizzle up, and this is another smart way of doing this. Valuing instead of playing the Marnie is going to say the main way you're going to get there the next turn is to utilize Ryota most likely to find shady dealings and telling.
打死一只变色蜥，帕路上去，为什么帕路不上去打？直接打死不就好了？哦，飞天皮哦，因为飞天皮到后面了，所以他教授切分机抓飞天皮打死。哦，帕路很努力，这场帕路很努力。哇，主播跟赛评好像都非常期待可以看到 Game 3，他们都很期待可以看到第3局。其实比赛时间剩下还有29分钟，是非常有机会可以打一个完整的局啊，尤其双方都是大牌的状况下。他们还有时间可以大洗啊。
That's a big advantage. Sometimes playing against this deck, it feels like you're playing a solitaire where it doesn't matter how low you set up on your first turn or how low you draw. If your opponent gets the Jolteon block in combination with a flying Pikachu and an Arceus that can turn into Nova and either deal heavy amounts of damage or take a knockout, sometimes the game can feel unwinnable. We sort of saw that in game number 1. Game 2, Jolteon was pushed off the board. It was not possible to establish it due to the help of Greninja, Moonlight Shuriken. We're going to game 3. A new narrative may unfold. The story is being painted. The pictures are falling into the scrapbook. And this is where we are painting our canvas for what top 8 of Worlds will look like and how people will view this event years and years to come.
These are where the legends are made. Both of these players, regardless of the outcome of this 3rd game, you have to remember their names. We know that they are previous world competitors. They know what they're doing. They've been in this situation before, and they're fighting to advance. Kaiwin making the miracles happen in an unfavored matchup, and it all comes down to that half step of tempo. If the Radiant Greninja can come out to preempt these Eevees before they can evolve, versus whether or not the memory capsule Thunderous Awakening can stick.
好啦，第3局开局大概就会决定一切了。开局会是什么呢？左边阿尔宙斯最好的开局就是阿尔宙斯站前台，右边最好的开局应该是类野西站前台，因为这一局应该是 Ryota 先攻吧。啊，两个水桶卡进去哎，那他放2张水桶还是3张？没有一步可以先铺场，哇，卡不到了 ，Ryota 卡不到他的特性了。哦，猪被抓对战 VIP， 这样帕路这边的机会蛮大的欸。尽管 Ryota 的先攻 ，Ryota 现在一直走放在桌上，感觉就是有一点无奈，你知道吗？
first turn of the game, there's a really obscure line that you could actually try and threaten aggro Pikachu at this point by attacking with that Max Balloon attack on the following turn with help of the RPG. So the fact that you're not even going to be taking a knockout this turn, you can at maximum hit this Arceus for high amounts of damage, but not take that knockout is definitely something that Ryota will be at minimum missing. You can at least establish a VMAX, but the big thing over on Taiwan's side, getting set up, finding battle pass, this is what deck wants to do, and there's potential to draw even more. You see how strong Taiwan's hand is basic-wise. Didn't even grab a basic Pokemon, already has the Greninja to draw a few more cards. We'll see if this can get to some more battle pass. That would be a big find for Taiwan to accelerate the board even more. And start to get things set up. What do we see?
Oh, another water energy. Great. We need to see these water energies come because the Capacious buckets are in the prizes. That's the saving grace for Ryota, even though the Radiant Greninja is set up without enough energies accelerated out of the deck and into the discard pile. That subspace, the Star Portal combo to power up the Radiant Greninja might not come, and it even maybe can hit the board safely. With the turn 1 Arceus and attachment, we have the threat of the Trinity Nova, we have the Starbirth to find those missing pieces, so Taiwan, even though we have a strong setup, may be unable to convert.
Yeah, Quick Ball here can get rid of a card that's not going to have any use in this matchup, and Necropominum will be...
It's the true hero. It's always providing fodder when needed.
Listen, it's more emotional support for me when I do the deck. It's just there to be a nice friend in a lot of matchups, but more importantly, able to establish a second Palkia on the bench if for some wacky reason there's a way for Ryota to apply enough pressure to take a knockout. This is game 3, players will have full deck list knowledge. You want to play around some surprise, and Rule of Region, it's not a bad attack in this case because it's going to guarantee the training court to your hand. On one hand, this is good, but on the other hand, by putting the training court into your hand before you are utilizing it right away instead of right off the bat with CD dealings, Marnie can put that to the bottom of the deck, and it means you're not going to have any chance to draw into it off those 4, 5 cards, including top deck, that you're going to see during the turn.
Rule of the Region has kind of been this odd attack that over and over has just been, I might as well use it, I don't have anything else to do, but in this particular matchup, it does have that use of having the stadium ready to go.
难道里欧塔做不出伊布吗？用马力干到手牌。
That stadium back, I want my path to the peak to stick. I need to keep you under control so I can get my setup.
Yeah, that was actually also a big time find up top of the deck. Found the Arceus V-Star. That's going to guarantee the Trinity Nova this turn. Give the other pieces in the hand. Is there a way to get Eevee down?
有塔抽到什么吗？进化型的雷布，但是伊布还没有。丢掉阿宙斯 V-Star。抓伊布，一定要抓出伊布给对方威胁。
Avalanche starts to happen over and over again. The EV is found off the quick ball. The setup is there. Here comes the Starbirth. Looking through the deck to grab those 2 missing pieces. Made the memory
pass the Jolteon.
And now Taiwan has to find a way to get this again. The movement sure.
手田零费撤退上去，雪道压着，打180田能，换对手。
Taiwan drawing for turn.
I don't think there's anything in his hand. What's that supporter? It's a boss's orders. There's no way to find any Drizzile or remove his path to the peak.
After that Marnie was played to send that training court down, the lockdown has prevented the Bullet Shuriken from punishing the Eevee. Now the fully lockout with the Thunderous Awakening is going to be the key for Ryota here in game number 3. Everything is on the line for these players to remain in the World Championship.
Yeah, it's not going to be guaranteed because Starbirth was already used, but over on Taiwan's side, it's a big time miss because you need to at least hit into this Arceus to stay into this game. Otherwise, you're going to remove a free 2 prize cards. You can play the heavy ball, see some cards you don't have access to, but...
沉重球。
I guess you could bring the Eevee up and try to stall it out.
抓练习出来，看一下奖励卡卡什么。
Oh wow, this Marnie could make, or I think this Marnie might break Taiwan's chances of getting into top 4. You need to use these early turns when you have access to Shady Dealing to the most of your ability, to the best advantage.
凯文突然间有点难打了。
They're gonna have to just rule the region for a training court again.
哦，可以了，可以了，他拿到场地卡，这样子就可以。哎，不对，他是用第一招拿场地卡吗？他是用第一招拿场地卡哦，他是 rule the region， 对耶，他用那个空间支配者这一招拿场地卡，然后换对手。这样凯文这回合等于没有打出伤害。Oh no！ 哦，被锁了，凯文机会没了。
So there are advantages. Playing the Marnie, at this point, it seems like it's beneficial. You lock your opponent out of everything. You just are really looking for that Pikachu, flying Pikachu VMAX. But no, this is fine as well. You're just going to take the knockout, accelerate some energy out of the board if you want. Those are cards you don't want to draw into if that's the potential. You can just put them on the Arceus to be a pivot. And wow, that will be the choice. Just I understanding I don't want to draw into these cards. I'm going to put them onto my Arceus so that I can retrieve the double turbo energy off and deal a little bit more damage.
And now the lockout is happened. Tywin was able to take full advantage of how slow Ryota's setup was. Got so much value out of the lack of that Thunderous Awakening.
Thunderous Awakening is online, and it will stay online until that Jolteon is knocked out. No way to remove the tool cards, and that's going to be hard. The boss orders in hand, but what is the Kaiser?
Awkward spot. We have water energy. The water energy doesn't matter. Is not set up at all. Just one manual attachment for the turn, and now Ryota is in this bully position where I can start chasing down any threats that you're trying to get set up instead. No concealed cards ability, no shady dealings, no star portal. The Thunderous Awakening shuts down everything this deck wants to do. There's a boss of orders, but nothing to attack with. Back over to Ryota, and it looks like he just needs to reach out and grasp victory from this position.
哇，皮卡丘 VMAX 做出来差不多了吧？对啊，完全锁住了啊！电牌已经不是走什么高伤快速的时代了，电牌现在已经是走一种控制对方的时代。我总觉得现在电牌就是一种控制的时代。
Those cards coming off the prize cards and the top of the deck can even attach the double turbo energy to this Jolteon to make sure it doesn't get locked out, and it's going to do exactly that. 7 fresh new cards. Ryota is running away with it.
Has been playing the 7-card Professor's Research consecutively over and over again, just beautifully thinning the hand down and drawing right back up with the fresh 7. Has now a second flying Pikachu V, takes the knockout on the Sobble, and is now closing the net on this third game to advance.
哇，阵仗都做好了，好不好？根本就凯文只能拼到最后了啦，但是看起来应该是没机会。赛评主播那边也是觉得说已经没有办法了。
It's just a tool jammer. You can just get pitched away with the quick ball, but at this point, the Palkia is inactive. It can't move at all. It will be knocked out by a max balloon as it stands. The Palkia can just sit there and admire everything that's happening on Ryota's board, but nothing can be done. No pressure can be applied. No damage.
再做一次帕路。
Just stuck in the water, nothing to do.
可是没有水能呢？是吗？是不是没有水能？
Just put this top deck mode. It's such a wild dichotomy between power level here. The Thunderous Awakening started to see a lot of play purely to shut down the intelligent engines, and now as we've gotten more cards added to the format, that's just more water Pokemon that just get scooped up by this tech. Training Court does bump that path to the peak. Boss's orders to bring up the flying Pikachu VMAX.
So Tywin did have a play there, did have the training court, can finally for the next triple goes on, but is it just too late at this point? The flying Pikachu is already set up and can take the knockout to put Ryota down to 1.
皮卡丘现在就是手起刀落，手起刀落就赢了。
Anything else? He's got the game locked up. Nothing can take out this flying Pikachu. The only thing that can survive the max balloon attack is just that Crabominable, and we know it's gone. Tywin can put up anything. Tywin can try to stall, but every Pokemon can retreat. has Irida at least for turn. You've got to play it out. You got to play your outs, but the doors are they're closed. That's the question at this point. You're gonna at least have abilities, so you're gonna be able to see some more cards. But the only line I can potentially think of. Maybe something around stalling out a Pokemon, but we haven't even seen those cards played yet.
他有打死他的雷伊布，所以可以发隐藏牌。
Again, even at this point in the game, the player's still making sure those sequences are correct. Kaiwin only able to take one prize this turn after.
他只能拿一张奖励卡了。
Potentially do.
但是就是看能做什么了，因为反正还有时间，世界赛的最后一站，有可能就是最后一站了，也应该就是最后一站了，我们就只能展现出最后的倔强了。
And there's Roxanne. We saw Cal Connor out of a poor position earlier today, but I don't think they're going to be a poor position in this one. The attachment for turn to the Greninja, the rating Greninja, but again, there's no Pokemon can play that.
帕路 B Star 还没有发过所以还可以填的。
Cross the just looks bad.
When you know that there is almost no way to win. You just have to go through the motions here. And Ryota,
真的，现在凯文就是感觉就是，就算知道自己应该快输了，但还有时间就把它打完吧的那种感觉吧。伤害打不出来啊。
double cross switcher, so Kaiwin understands the only line of play is if the Pikachu, flying Pikachu cannot attack.
可皮卡丘电谁都是一奖啊，他电谁都死啊！你如果气绝一只2奖怪，也是过不了。难道还有腰带？水烧王。
I mean, what else can you really do at this point? You just gotta hope off these 2 cards. Your opponent does not have a way to get this Moltres out of the active spot.
That is the piece, but even if you do strand this Moltres, you're buying yourself 1, 2 more turns. You still have to take the time to set up this Palkia manually. Maybe a Melanie comes
10点了，我该睡觉嘞。哦。
VMAX, like you saw in game number 2, is a 2-hit knockout. Kaiwin has 5 prize cards left to take. If this was a little bit closer, we maybe could have.
哦，他要用射的，一直去射后台，是不是？
Here with the star portal.
Okay.
This is possible. You're gonna target down the Pikachu VMAX and the Arceus on the bench. So this is pretty much setting up.
有是没错，如果对手没办法撤退的话，他还有一点点机会拖在后面，知道吗？插字符或者是霓虹鱼。
Let's take a look at the outs in the deck. There's a double turbo energy. The switch is in there as well, and that seems really eyeball.
有吗？有吗？
What is available? Calculating, okay, am I going to try to go for the draw of the dark asset? Do I need to Luminion first?
感觉是有插字符啦。
Find that switch.
The lines are thin. It's really hard for Kyle to be able to.
有插字符，有插字符。 抽不抽到一个涡轮能量，双重涡轮能量，或者是Switch？应该是没有Switch，应该是要抽能量。最后机会了 ，Final Chance 啊，是吗？到底？
5 cards off this dark asset.
看不到手牌。
No, but there is a research, and there are plenty of ways.
还有先机球，还有先机球，还有博士，压牌，压牌，压牌。
It is completely possible. We're going to see this happen right now.
看起来是要压牌。
Very thin. Ryota has sequenced beautifully time and time again to get that 7-card Professor's research play.
压牌，压牌，再抓，再抓。
Looking through the deck, feeling the ball, finds the flying.
高级球抓飞天皮。
With the professor.
Yeah, kind of all that's the same thing at this point. Louis just threw it out of the deck.
Get it out of the deck, put it down.
Get out of my deck 。主播在名单说 Get out of my deck。 从我的牌库离开，我不要你们。
A little bit around 50%. There are 2 outs in the deck, so things are not possible. Things aren't necessarily guaranteed.
是有机会，但是就是机会的博士。7张牌有没有？双重涡轮有双重涡轮，撤退电死啊 ！Ryota 进4强了。
At the Pokémon World Championships. What a game, even with the deck built to counter the opponent. Kaiwin pushed him to the edge, and he was able to find that final piece to get the switch and take the win. Game number 3, he advances. What an amazing set to see here at the World Championships in London.
Yeah, so heartbreaking for Kaiwin. You know he wanted it so bad.
我觉得帕路很努力了。 好啦，也到了约定的10点了，该收播了。我明天一样早6的班，得睡觉。跟大家说晚安啦。
Gonna advance top 4. We've got 2 Japanese representatives locked in for top 4. We could be seeing it again every 6 years since 2004. A player from Japan has won.
来切换一下，看一下其他赛场在干嘛。VG Pokémon Go 现在是看起来有可能是公开组的败部复活冠军赛，对。 我们看一下 BG 好了，今天都没看 BG， 就在 BG 的画面做一个 ending 收尾吧。明天应该就会有 Unite 的冠军诞生 ，Pokémon Go 的各组别冠军诞生。然后明天直播我应该也没办法看全场了，有机会应该是可以看到卡牌的冠亚赛1场，应该可以看到1场卡牌的冠亚赛跟。 电玩的冠亚赛吗？不确定，某一组的，因为他们3个组别都明天冠亚赛连着打这样子。好，准备收了，大家再见啦，拜拜。
Exactly what it took. It took probably about 14 turns total, maybe 15 total turns in that game, not sure the exact count, but that's much longer than the typical BC match you'll see with a lot more hyper-offensive teams, especially with Dynamax. But even in that match, it was the Dynamax Incineroar and the Dynamax Palkia that wasn't doing too much damage either. It seems like they kind of were almost using Dynamax as a way to preserve some more HP compared to getting some KOs.
Yeah, it was definitely a really fun game to watch. But now if you're a runner, you have to think about what you're going to be doing in this game too. And this is a similar situation that we got to see in Paul's earlier match up against Calvin. Calvin didn't have a really good way to stop this Trick Room or delay from happening. And even when he waited out all the Trick Room turns, Trick Room just got set again, or he was at such a disadvantage from pivoting around that Paul was able to grab the game. In this case, Paul was left completely free to set Trick Room after Trick Room after Trick Room. Even though the game was super slow and grindy, he consistently had the speed tiers in his favor, even when Eduardo did bring something slow on his own side like this Gastrodon. So either you need to make sure that you have a way to stop this Trick Room from going off in the first place, or you have a good way to preserve that as soon as that Trick Room ends, that you're taking away one of those Trick Room setters, and then have the speed that you want to play for.
If you're Paul, it's 1 down, 1 to go. This time around, though, you can't necessarily rely on a flamethrower burn into the opposing Zacian. If Zacian is not burned, this time around it does much more damage supporting on Amoonguss, everything else that is on Paul's side. So let's see how Eduardo is going to adjust here in this game, too. Because if he doesn't make an adjustment, he's going to be watching Paul at the finals tomorrow.
Adjustment on Pulse, and instead of that Amoonguss, we talked about how Amoonguss in the lead up against the Counter Shadow Rider could be a little weird, but the Porygon 2 fares a lot nicer against it, and an immediate way to just say, hey,
I have Trick Room, I can set this up, you need to stop me now, or you're going to be playing in my home advantage.
Right, and you have Fake Out from Incineroar as well, so if you wanted, you wouldn't even be able to get the strong damage up, but not actually going for a Fake Out on this turn as the Calyrex moves first.
No, instead maybe a parting shot or a throat chop to be dealing damage into the opposing Calyrex. Completely ignoring the Porygon 2 at this point. It'll be double hit into this Incineroar. The Sacred Sword is going to be enough to grab the KO. But what is really important about this is the Porygon 2 does go for this Trick Room, and this double hit into the Incineroar. Yes, you lost your Incineroar. You now completely get to bring in something to take advantage of this Trick Room, and that is going to be the Calyrex Ice Rider. But we did get a knockout about 13 turns earlier in this game than we did in, not literally, but you get what I'm saying. But you are right, Sierra. This is a free switch in with 4 turns of Trick Room remaining for the Calyrex and Paul's side. And although, yes, would you have liked to go for the attack into the Calyrex Shadow Rider with Incineroar? Yeah, but that was just a smart adjustment. I like that from Eduardo with the double target. But anytime you go for that, you're going to leave Zacian free to target the Calyrex Ice Rider as well. And I think he has, if he has the Focus Sash, your foul play cannot knock it out from full HP. Well, considering that the Incineroar didn't fake out, could have also been the parting shot, because this looks like the board state that Paul would much rather prefer to have in this Trick Room scenario. The Glacial Lance hitting some damage into the Zacian. The foul play to follow up is actually going to hit into the Calyrex Shadow slot, so a very nice protect. Now Behemoth Blade from Zacian. It hasn't taken much damage, and it has 2 targets that don't appreciate this. The Calyrex Ice Rider definitely doesn't. That is a big hit. That is a very low Calyrex Ice Rider at this point. Stayed relatively healthy for most of the game, and it was able to secure it for Paul at the end of it in the previous one. But now you're so low, any type of attack is going to knock you out. On that turn, the Glacial Lance would have broken the Focus Sash on Calyrex Shadow Rider, and then foul play gets the KO. But Calyrex doesn't get the boost to its attack on that, because then Porygon would have gotten it there. So now he's going to Dynamax this super low HP Pokemon that he knows is at least going to attack first under Trick Room. Yeah, we talked about Dynamaxing and having that survivability, though at this point, if you can just grab a huge KO with one of these max moves, it could be a way to make sure that you survive through the turn regardless, and that's going to be a Max Quake into the Zacian. It is enough to grab this KO, so it's only going to have to deal with whatever the Calyrex Shadow Rider has throwing at it. Nice little special defense boost should certainly help going up the Calyrex Shadow Rider at the end of the turn, and that's going to be a chilling Nay boost as well. Yeah, and the Porygon's never even, you can be +6, it doesn't matter, because you're never going to get hit by those ghost attacks. But Eerie Impulse is revealed. Instead of going for the damage, knowing that you can't really get the KO at all, going for another chance to lower the special attack. This is so low at this point, and that is doing no damage. Just barely a tickle. The Calyrex Ice Rider, it had so little health when Dynamaxing, but when this Calyrex Shadow Rider does nothing into it whatsoever, that's going to be enough. Paul knows his numbers. He knew after the special defense boost into the Calyrex, or for the Calyrex Ice Rider, it would be able to take the spread Astral Barrage because of Eerie Impulse. So a very smart play from Paul, knowing that, trusting honestly that his Calyrex at such low HP was going to be able to endure that hit. And now you have Gastrodon at full HP, as well as the Calyrex Shadow Rider still having its Focus Sash intact. One way to knock it out would be bring it down to the Sash with Max Hailstorm, and then it gets knocked out at the end of the turn, and Eduardo is definitely too scared of that happening. Yeah, it's definitely a Pokemon that prefers the speed, so Incineroar coming in is great. You preserve that, but more importantly, you get this Intimidate down onto the Calyrex Ice Rider, who had previously that chilling Nay boost. Now, primed and ready on the field, it is time for Eduardo to go for a Dynamax of his own. And you'll love to see it here in top 4, the Dynamax Gastrodon. Somebody check on Lou, see if she is okay. There's a Dynamax Gastrodon on the field. She must be elated right now. Check on Lee as well. We got the match of their dreams. Now a Max Quake fired off, and that is going to be enough to pick up this KO onto the Calyrex Ice Rider and make sure that this horse can't do any more damage. Yeah, you're going to get the special defense boost onto both of your Pokemon, which will help if Palkia is that last Pokemon in the back for Paul's side here. Because of Gastrodon Dynamaxing, you got that knockout, and your Pokemon is still full HP. What can Paul do to answer to this? A foul play would have been great into the Calyrex Shadow Rider, but at that point, the Incineroar is going to take it so well. Now it's going to be the Amoonguss that is brought in. There's still one more turn of Trick Room and an opportunity to put something to sleep. We got to see last time that the Amoonguss is so slow, and the Gastrodon could have a very unlucky fate considering there's still Spore at Paul's disposal.
So Paul actually leaves his second restricted Pokemon in the back this time. He does not have it for game 2. That Amoonguss is the option because of Spore under Trick Room is really good. But actually you're not going to do that this turn because you just want to protect so you don't get hit by a fake out.
Absolutely fantastic, making sure, yes, I don't want to be on the wrong side of this fake out whatsoever. I can't do anything anyways. Might as well stay nice and protected, especially with the Max Quake going its way. That is a turn of Dynamax that is pretty well wasted at this point, though it will be a special defense boost coming out. Now another foul play, another chance at a little bit of chip. It's a great move on Porygon 2, but when you don't really have a Pokemon that you can take advantage from, it's really lackluster.
And in VGC formats of years past, oftentimes Amoonguss would use a move like Grass Knot or Giga Drain, you know, some type of grass attack for coverage into things like the Gastrodon. So, but when you have Pollen Puff, you might not have the extra move slot available to you to even have a grass attack to hit this Gastrodon super effectively. So even if you do get the Spore, Eduardo kind of is feeling safe to not be hit in one, or not get knocked out in one turn.
They're so safe. That's the double protect, and considering the Flare Blitz hit into that slot, it is amazing. And that is a double target into it. The Max Hailstorm also going to be doing next to nothing. That is a great chance to go for it, and hitting that double protect is going to be paying off in dividends. Now, a chance to reset the Trick Room since it did expire, and that was, I believe, the last turn of Dynamax.
Yeah, but when you have this Amoonguss Porygon 2 is your last 2 Pokemon for Paul, and this Gastrodon is